Howdy, howdy.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another session of our Friday night D&D Dark Frontier. This is session 14. I'm Jaso, the DM, and who else is joining me this hopefully COVID-free Friday evening?
Hey everyone, I'm Bailey. I'm COVID-free, and I'm playing Ema Neyts, the Lightfoot Halfling College of Wildfire Druid.
I'm gonna need to see your guys' COVID-free cards before we can play, by the way.
Hey, I'm Luke. I'm playing the Illithid Artificer, and I am just chock full of COVID.
That is his name.
What's up? My name is Kevin, and I play Sun Kong.
Nope.
Sun Cog.
Cogman.
Hi, everybody.
The Warforged Rogue. And I've been COVID-3 since 93.
What's up, everybody? My name's Slim, and I'll be playing Rustin Shinjizuka. My armor's metal. It's kind of like a tinfoil hat, so I don't believe in those conspiracy guys.
Oh no.
What's up, from Kyle? I'm playing Boltro Keys, Bolt to my friends. I'm the de facto leader of this here ragtag bunch of merry men and women.
Hi everybody, I'm Nick, thoroughly confused and playing Ironhide, the Gift Barbarian Extraordinaire, Mayor Captain, Pirate Bosun,
Legendary.
Umber Hulk smashing, skeleton slaying, wolf wrangling, crino buddying, dark
Wizard
frontiersman, wizard slayer, and I smash snowman. I'm so proud.
Smash!
Thanks for watching, you're my favorite.
Thank you, everybody. Anna, thank you so much for the curio. I'm gonna go ahead and have you, Slim, roll a d10 for me. Also, thank you for subscribing, Kevino. All right, we got a 2. That means that when we play the game, Thunder, you will find in your pockets a gray cipher, glass spindle filled with silvery liquid. When broken over a weapon, the weapon is transmuted into a similar metal. Deals an additional 2d6 points of damage until the end of the session, after which the weapon disintegrates.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh, I was gonna ask if my hands count, but I don't want to melt my hands.
It just makes it harder metal if you want to turn your fist into that.
Okay.
All right, so you get that. Don't slap that, Anna. Don't do it, not now. I'm trying to pay attention. Okay. Thank you, everybody, so much. A big thanks, as always. He actually retweeted my tweet, which is awesome. I always love to see when I work with some artists that that they see our stuff. That's so cool. Thank you, Illumin Arts, so much as usual for our awesome character art. You can see all of that here on the screen as you're watching, or of course, go check him out and on his Twitter, and you can see a whole bunch more stuff. I'll post it in the actual Twitch chat here. But yeah, go give him a follow. I think he just surpassed 400 followers, which is really cool. So congratulations, Lumen, and keep climbing there, buddy. So yeah, big thanks to him. And I don't really have too much table. I was gonna say table dressing, housekeeping. Twitch channel points. You guys are earning them as you watch, even if you're just sitting naked in your room and you're not talking at all. You're just watching and doing things. You're gonna get Twitch channel points, and you can use those to buy cool things, like Anna just did, to buy one of the party members a cool curio that lasts for the entire session, apparently. Go check that out at the bottom left of the chat. There's all kinds of fun stuff that you can buy with those. As you just saw too, with all the stickers slapping on the screen, we have stream stickers. Just mouse over, you'll see all of the global stickers we have, and if you're a subscriber, you get access to exclusive stickers, so that would be cool too. We use D&D Beyond, the plugin, so if you're interested to learn more about any of the characters, all the information is there. You can go check them out, go see exactly what archetypes they are for their particular classes, or if any of them are multi-classing, just to get a better idea of what they are up to. For my party, knowledge checks are always free. I'm not saying that specifically for this session. I'm just saying it as a generality. Never hurts to learn about some things before you stick your hands in it.
If you roll, right?
It hurts if you roll a 1, though.
Yes,
Or
it's
a 2 or a 3.
it's not great, but if it's a knowledge check, it's not terrible. So yeah, other than that, that's really it. So let me go ahead and hand out some inspiration, because looks like you guys definitely made use of those last session.
I hate to say it, but Jason, you got a +1 from Anna.
Oh, thank you so much, Anna. I'll make sure to use that. Here you go, guys. Go ahead and grab those cards. It's Yu-Gi-Oh time. If you want to trade your cards, now's the time to do it. Or forever hold on to them until you use them.
Oh, I got a card. So I need to trade this one away though. It's really good. Somebody needs to take it. I'm gonna put it down, and we'll take any card for this because it is that good. Who wants to recover a level 1 spell slot? Which is super huge for us at this level.
I would like to trade you because I think this might benefit you more than me.
Slap those cards down.
How about some giant skin, buddy?
Got it.
Giant skin.
Also, now that you guys are happy, Cogman, you have 2 cards?
I do, from 2 weeks ago. I believe I had, for some reason. I think Anna brought me an extra one. I know.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Everyone's happy with their cards. If not, say so. Otherwise, why don't we roll some die to see who wants to give the recap from last week? I feel like Kevin, everyone filled you in so well. You may as well just roll with us. Oh, look at that.
I will never suffer karma.
I did it last week, but I gotta do it anyway.
Yeah, roll. What's the worst that can happen? Oh, shit. All right.
Emma,
Whatever.
what happened last time on Dark Frontier?
Last time we spoke to the head honcho of the town, the speaker. Hey,
You were
yeah,
close.
it rhymes. Close enough. Speaker, and she allowed us to go to the jail and get our demon hunting friend out, who is afraid of wolves, possibly turns into a wolf, and we left the wolf lady there as like a, well, we left her there, but we told everyone that she's part of our team, and it's like a collateral, I suppose. Anyway, we made our way up to the woods, and it started a blizzard, and we ran into wolves, snow wolves, and snowmen, and they hurt us pretty bad. But in the end, we defeated them unscathed, mostly. Kind of. The end.
Thank you, Anna/Bay. You happen to find a expedition ticket in your bag. You can add that to your own stack or the party stack, or however you guys are handling that. Yes, you guys had just taken down some wolves, some rather large wintry wolves, in the middle of a blizzard upon inspecting an interesting location that had a number of what looked like rudimentary snowmen built, surrounding and almost peering at a downed cart in the middle of this just wintry pathway as it was just being blown away by snow. Upon investigating, the snowmen animated themselves and attacked ferociously, and in between the mix of wolves and snow-like golem creatures, you guys suffered quite a bit of damage, but were able to pull through. You're all conscious, some of you looking a little worse for wear than others. The Crino behind you, from what little you guys can see, look a little frazzled from the fight, but otherwise look okay. It's all, even as you see the beating wind slapping across each of you and feel the sheer cold as it hits your fingers and cheeks. it looks as though the Crino are relatively comfortable, even despite a raging blizzard going on. However, for you all, between your nicks and wounds, you feel the cold and the ice sting as it not only slaps against those, but just across your any open area of skin, as well as making visibility extremely hazardous here. The sound of the raging wind is almost overbearing. If you practically have to yell to make any communication with one another. Although Ill is close by, so you guys can probably largely, just use your telepathy communication with him in range. You guys were, I think, about 2 or so hours into this trip, and it's about a 10-hour trip there and back. You are on what you still believe to be the Gelid Pass. However, you're not sure, because of the nature of the blizzard, how far it will be until you're able to pass through it. The raging winds are making things hazardous. As you peer around, you see this downed cart that is half buried in the snow. A couple of trunks and what looked like a couple of barrels, maybe from some type of supply run or something like that. Whatever this was, seems to be caught in the snow. From what you see here, blood also paints the nearby chunks as these wolf corpses lay in them, quickly becoming covered by the just pelting wind here. So the ball is in your guys' court. You have still about an 8-hour trek if you hope to get to at least what you hope to you determined to be about an 8-hour trip to get all the way up to Lake Numb, so that you can do a little investigating about this downed Vodani ship.
Okay.
That was rough, guys.
Indeed it was. Why don't you go ahead and collect those chronos, make sure they're all nice and settled down before we start mounting back up. Everybody else, let's heal up. Thunder, why don't you inspect the snowmen, figure out where they came from, see if there might be more of them on the way.
Yes, sir. Permission to speak, sir.
All time.
Do you think, I know we just left, you think we should take a quick rest? I know it's a long trip and it's not too safe, but that was really rough. I could use a little magic to help you guys heal up, but...
I can spare some healing magic if you guys need. It looks like you do.
I think maybe we just take some time to bandage ourselves up. If anybody starts getting too cold, we have those peppers, what was made from dead people. The ones that are supposed to keep you warm.
We can all bundle together and eat peppers around a campfire full of wolf furs.
Jason, how are we doing exposure-wise? Do we feel like we need to down some of these peppers to even, rest here?
Let me see here. You guys can probably make a survival check to see if you could even hunker down here. The pounding winds are making it incredibly difficult to even, like I said, see each other talk to one another. So you may want to make a check to see if it would even be possible to make a short rest here.
Oh God, we're gonna be in trouble if we can't.
23.
7
Every person, or
if you want.
Just whoever. I'm seeing some high rolls here. Most of you, especially you, Emma, probably Emma, because you're so used to having the warmth of your fire magic here in an opposite environment where it's just sheer cold. You guys would not be able to find, unless you had an actual, maybe an igloo or something that could withstand these winds. It is not going to be comfortable here. You could maybe hunker down, but you wouldn't get any healing from it.
We're just talking a short rest, just the hour, not actually falling asleep. Is that also true of that as
yeah,
well?
even as a short rest, unless you built something with some solid reinforcement or permanence to it. It's going to be very difficult to like I said, you guys could probably survive, but you certainly wouldn't get any healing out of it.
All right, let's bust out that magic then.
I I happen to be able to make some tools. I mean, I'm good with smith's tools and other stuff, but I could make a set of cobbling tools or just woodworking tools, and we could just throw the cart together and put the wolves on the side. Make some sort of shanty for a little bit if you want.
I don't know if that's going to help here.
Yeah, I think maybe our best bet is just to push out of the blizzard and rest on the other end of it.
You're probably right.
Is
Sorry.
there anything around the cart that we can look for? Like any tips on what happened here? Maybe.
There's some stuff up here.
I'll take an investigation check like Boss Man said.
Sure. Emma, you do. Ale points out a couple half-buried, look like crates of some type, some rounded, some more of like a treasure chest fashion up ahead that seem to have likely fallen off of the cart. Otherwise, you would need to make a check, like Thunder's doing. So we'll go with Emma first. As you head over here, pushing through the cold winds up to these barrels, you now see them kind of sticking out of the snow. Looks to be 3 from what you can see. What do you do?
I opened them.
All right. Give me a athletics check, please.
Oh, here, hold on. I dig around in my backpack and I hand her a crowbar, which
Oh.
gives you
Nice.
advantage on.
Thanks.
Oh,
Like-
not that you need it. Oh, you did need it. Oh, nice.
Excellent.
You begin trying to just use your hands, and just the cold of the ice and the frozen nature of the wood is a little bit difficult to work with, but then Il tosses over a crowbar and you kind of quickly just dig it into one of them and begin to quickly pry and pry. You pop open the crates and you guys find each within the crates. Give me a Emma, roll me a
That's what you rolled. 2 what?
2d10.
A 1 and a 4.
You find about 250 gold value worth of flasks in here of oil.
Oh, jackpot. Now,
Keeping the oil, I give this to them.
I think wait, let's see. Not the fire girl, not the Illithid that has gunpowder, not the robot that shoots exploding lightning, not the smash hippo. How about Cogman? You want to hold on to these?
Sure. What is it? I'm sorry.
250 gold's worth of oil. So it's the currency that they use back in town. And we have a group of very volatile people, except for you and Bolt. So one of the two of you should probably hold on to it.
I'll take care of it.
Otherwise, it's just asking for one of us to explode in a terrible mishap.
As you are prying those open, Emma, and retrieving the flask, which look largely intact, there's 1 or 2 broken ones, but you're able to at least pull the 250's worth out. While you're doing that, Thunder, you use an investigation check to peer around. From the makeup of the snow here, despite all of the buildup from the blizzard, there still is something that is a bit off from the compacted areas around here. And you kind of throw your metal hands into the snow, and you're able to dig up as you dig through, pushing through some of it. Something that feels that it has some permanence to it, some tangibility, and you kind of grab it quickly and pull it out from the snow, and you see a frozen hand of a corpse.
Yeah.
Oh, boss, we got a dead one over here.
Just one?
That's all I've seen so far.
Well, Imagine more. Keep looking.
Real quick, did anybody need any healing? I got just a base cure wounds.
Cogman does.
Yeah, I got two HPs.
Oh, I'll cast it twice, and I'll use my ring I made to get one spell slot back, just to get one of them back.
Nice.
It's not much, but
Yeah.
Better than 2.
Yeah, I can't really afford any more spell slots, I don't think.
there we go.
Wow, nice.
I'd offer some healing, but bullets don't heal, so...
Hey, good news, boss. The biotic spray didn't freeze. I don't think.
Well, that's excellent news. I'm glad your biodetic sprays didn't freeze. What are those exactly?
It's kind of like a potion, and layman's term, I put a potion in a sprayer on my gauntlets.
Well, good lord, son, then why don't you call it a potion?
It's absorbed through the skin, sir.
I never understand the youth of today. All right, let's go.
You could try drinking it. I don't know. Maybe we should try that. Open your mouth, boss.
I don't think I like anything that comes with that sentence.
Is this a thing?
Is this a thing? Is what a thing, Kevin?
Oh, I don't like that. Whatever this is, I'm pinging. Can nobody else see it? Can I see it? I don't like if I can only see it.
Yeah, those are our Krynos.
The unfortunate reality of missing 80% of this arc. What the hell are those? Those are her mounts, Cogman.
Oh,
I lost my head for a second. The cold is getting to me.
I'm gonna go over and rip a wolf's tooth out just like a keepsake, if I can just get a single one, and then go check on crazy wolf demon Magoo over here.
You rip it takes a little minute or two to work one out, but you're able to pull out a long, large, almost like 2 finger longs in length canine from this large-sized wintry wolf. And you step over and you find sitting in the cart doing a similar motion or a similar sitting position that he was in the jail cell, just like hunched over, sitting down on his butt with his like knees pulled up and his arms wrapped around them, likely here just to keep his warmth. Large amount of furs and stuff covering his body. He's kind of just looking behind, not really paying attention to you guys, just looking out behind you from what little you all can see.
Hey, you doing okay, buddy? They're gone.
He slowly looks over at you and says, "Lost my knife."
Oh.
Got another one?
As a matter of fact, I do. That's my second knife. Please don't lose it. That's the last one I have. I don't want to make new ones.
He takes it and runs it through the air a little bit and just nods back your way, Il.
I'm removing both of the daggers I had from my inventory.
I have 2 if you need one.
I have guns. I don't need daggers.
I'm gonna offer him a ration and say, maybe a little food will help, keep your mind off things for a bit. Don't worry, we're almost out of this, I promise.
He grabs it and peels it open, takes a sniff, doing his best to keep the wind from kicking it around, and then pulling his hood almost over the food and his face, begins to just chomp down into it.
Well, let's get out of here, please. It's very cold.
The fest. I actually agree on this one.
Sure, all right. Everybody's up to speed. Everybody's feeling tip-top as we can go before we start out.
I wouldn't say tip-top, but better than we were.
So did we short rest?
Yeah, we didn't short rest. We just used a couple of healing potions.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Sorry. Who needs a curing hut?
Hey, you know, if you have Sal out, you heal for more.
I am no longer able to have Sal out.
Oh no, bummer.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take some if nobody else needs, like,
Well, you take 15.
15, 16?
15.
18? 24?
Heal the full? What?
All right. Well. Oof.
Are you still bloody, or are you good?
I am
No,
good.
I'm no longer bloody either. Hey, did we check this body?
I don't think we did.
We found it.
Medicine check. How did it die? How long has
You
it been dead?
push some more snow off of the corpse, and you're able to see here, Emma, that this looks like a somewhat young Goliath female. The skin is covered in splotches of frostbitten black in quite a few areas, and some actual pieces of bone are coming through from where the skin is just receded from the sheer nature around here. With your medicine check of 10, Bolt coming over to provide a little bit of a check himself, taking a look at the corpse. It looks as though they themselves, Emma, your check, it looks like they just got lost out here, probably, as you're inspecting. You push up the corpse a little bit, Bolt, just to be a little curious about it, and peering underneath towards the back, you can see some of the bonage of the ribs sticking out, but you do see on the back what looks like a sharp rind of what looks like claw marks that cut through the back of this corpse here.
Oh,
Okay. Well, a wow. All right.
Giddy up.
Yep. Ain't no reason to dilly-dally. We should away.
All right, you guys go ahead and get back on your mounts.
I forget. Oh, Ironhide's. Yeah, he's on either in the cart or with the halflings, I think. Because
Okay.
that's how we did it. It was the halflings and then the big
Yeah.
chungo
Okay.
was on one.
Chugga chug.
Ironhide, you can't fit on that one. No, okay, all right.
Oh my god.
I'm ready
All right.
for an adventure.
Cogman is here. I'm here. Let's go.
That was the best thing that's happened all week.
You
I
guys,
totally remember our plan on writing these things.
no one believes Cogman. You guys continue to push through the snow, giving a hearty giddy up to the Krynos as they begin to push through the pervasive winds and a couple feet high piles of snow that are just driven through this area by this blizzard. It takes you guys another 2 hours to press on. You all doing your best to pull the clothing over you to stop the wind from hitting you. It's difficult to concentrate. The sheer sound of the wind howling in your ears is just this pervasive, annoying, eerie sound, because besides that, there's just nothing else. And you continue to push through, and I'm going to move us just back up to this map. You guys aren't in the city, but we'll use the top end of this map where you guys are pushing through this snowy spot here. Just trying to make your way through the snow and get through it. As you guys are beginning to finally take note, after, like I said, what feels like another about 2 hours, the winds, the unrelenting winds, seem to be giving away a little bit, and you guys get the sense that the snowstorm, at least from where you're traveling here, what you believe to be due north, is beginning to finally subside, or you guys are at least just pushing through it. It's been 4 hours in total, along with a battle where you guys had to jump off of your mounts, and some of you took quite a few licks. Some of your wounds and cuts stinging as some of the frost hits it as the winds were blowing throughout this whole trip. However, you did rent the mount so that you're not having to walk by on foot, so you at least have a little bit of respite using the Krynos to get through. So I need everyone to give me a Constitution saving throw at advantage.
I like the advantage.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing I had that advantage too.
Good thing for quite a lot of people.
Jeez Louise.
All of you, luckily, because of the help of the mounts pushing through, some of you able to relax like Thunder and Malik at the back on the cart, not having to do much of the work besides let the beast of the earth here just push through the snow. We're able to push through the blizzard as it begins to clear up now, and we're able to not have it completely exhaust your bodies and take a point of exhaustion. So no one takes any exhaustion as the blizzard begins to clear. Up ahead, as the winds begin to clear, as your vision where it was once obstructed for hours, it felt like you were just traveling through a vacuous open cave almost from just the amount of visibility there was. As the winds clear here, you're now finally able to, your ears, the ringing begins to slowly subside, and you begin to look around and see that you are in a vast open area here. In the far distance, likely miles and miles away, you can see what looks like a stretch of mountains, and in the open area ahead of you, probably another 30 minutes worth of travel, but because it's such a horizontal and flat plane view out into the horizon, you're able to see now that up ahead, shifting and churning a bit, is what looks to be a massive sheet of ice that makes the entryway into Lake Numb. Snowfall is still here, and it is still relatively windy, but it's not nearly as painful and annoying as it was in the snowstorm.
When you say entryway to Lake Numb, do you mean like there's a sheet of ice that is before Lake Numb, or this is the start of Lake Numb?
This is like the start of Lake Numb.
Oh, okay. And we're still technically in the blizzard, so...
No, you guys, I'll say at this point, you guys have moved out of it.
Ooh, nice scene change.
A bit more okay to rest here, it seems, maybe?
You peer, everyone go ahead and make me a perception check.
Ooh. I'm good at these.
That's a critical fail if that counts. I forget.
No.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
you're the boss.
I won't take a card for that. I mean,
Okay.
I got my +1.
I see everything.
Oh wow, good job, Thunder.
Holy shit. That does give you... You already have a good boy card?
Oh, it was
right,
from
I have a
last
good boy
week.
card. Oh, yeah, I need to take those back. Give me these back. Let's recall these, but go ahead and draw one, Thunder. Thunder, you notice it nearly immediately as you begin to sort of scan just the general open, flat area here. Looking behind you to see the darkness of the blizzard roll through, almost as if it was positioned right on Gelid Pass, which is interesting. But you look up ahead and scan the area, and although you notice it immediately, Emma, you and Ironhide do eventually notice it as well. A little bit of a ways off. You know, the visibility here is still not great, as I mentioned before. It is technically low light, so if you guys don't have low light vision, let's remember that that's going to be a disadvantage on perception checks, but we already rolled, so we'll just go with this for now.
Can't do much worse.
It is still lit very subtly by the moonlight here, so it's still relatively dark, and there's still some winds in the area with some snowfall, so it's not like it's perfectly clear. But you're able to spot the three of you guys that off in the distance, towards the right, as you are going to be making your way towards the area where the snow finally gives way to the sheet of ice that covers Lake Numb. You notice looks like the front of a wooden ship that seems to be positioned almost sticking like directly north, like it's just either frozen or crashed, and the tip of the ship is just pointed straight up, and there's about half of it sticking out from the snow.
Well, I thought we were looking for a mast, so that's not the right place. Let's keep looking. Luck. Or Bolt misremembers being 100 years old.
Go ahead.
Okay. Is there anything like moving around in the icy parts of the water?
To actually get to where the snow ends and like the sheet of ice really begins, it's still like another 30 minutes. Like you can see it out from here because you can see in the distance chunks moving, but you'll need to get a little bit closer to see it from
on,
here.
I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
You guys continue to trek forward. The light snowfall here is a reprieve from the violent winds from before. As you continue to trek, you guys begin to finally pass out some yards away on your right. That wooden ship that seems to just have been stuck up from the ground. It looks sizable from here. It looks like, it almost looks like a large cottage, in terms of room, or a large barn, in terms of just sizing or square footage. You guys continue to trek along.
Are there lights?
You look over that way and you do not see any lights within it. But you only can peer through like the area on the top deck that you like open up to, it's the larger part where you put in like storage and stuff like that. Like that's in the middle of the ship. That's like the doorway here because it's like just pointed straight up. So it's kind of like a makeshift doorway to walk in. So it's really dark in there, and it's kind of difficult to see because it's a smaller entryway, but you don't see any lights from there, Go ahead, Bolt.
Bolt says, "Oh, now I remember, that was the place we were looking for. They said that we shouldn't be taking these chronos much further past it. Or was it not even up to it? I don't remember.
Let's
we stop with them here."
Yeah. Does it look like the boat is on Lake Numb, or like maybe it was like part of a docking area that's covered in snow, or like what's the deal there?
As you kind of trudge, you take a minute to just like kick your feet in the snow, and it doesn't look like this is, if it was part of Lake Numb at one point, it's certainly solidified to the point where it feels like solid ground. And because of the way the boat is almost like due east of you from here, it is likely that either it was just part of the lake that's completely frozen solid at this point, or maybe it was just pulled from the lake or used as a very ramshackle way to put together some type of a spot before the lake.
Well, it looks good enough to be a barn to me. We want to go drop off the Chrono there, maybe patch up some wounds, and then go check out what's on the lake. What do you guys think?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sounds good.
Hopefully nothing's living in that barn.
You guys use the reins and pull the Chrono towards the right and begin to make way for the ship. You trek over that way. Only takes a couple minutes before you reach it. As you close in, you just hear the sounds of shifting ice off in the distance towards the lake. The slow breeze blowing past you and moan of the soft wind, and the slow creak of the wood now that you've gotten closer here to the ship as it groans as the wind laps against it.
It doesn't look like there's anybody currently residing inside.
You peer around on the outside, and you don't see any obvious footprints or any like leftover gear where people may be, no.
Anybody care to take on a reconnaissance mission? Have a quick look.
Yeah.
Sure. Cogman, Emma, I leave it to you.
So, what do you want me to do again, boss?
See if there's anything in there.
We're going in the barn.
Before we all walk in there unsuspecting.
All right. Cogman, I'm right behind you for support.
I'm gonna try to stealth. Well, I'm gonna. Is there like just like a normal door, I guess, or is it just open?
That's what I was saying. It's like sticking straight up from the ground. You know, it's like 90 degrees pointed upward instead of a normal ship. So the normal area where you would like open it, move the wooden fencing out to actually drop in like stuff into the storage on a lower deck in the middle of the top of the ship actually serves as the front door here because of the way it's made up. There's no doors there or anything. There's no blocking. There's nothing blocking your way inside. It's dark inside, so you can't really see what's there, especially because of the low light around here. But you can go ahead and make me a stealth check as you try to get a little closer to get a better look, along with Emma. Emma, if you're trying to be stealthy, you can go ahead and roll too.
Well, give me a guidance.
Nice.
Yes! 16.
I got 22.
Okay. So you guys are both under the cover of the wind and moving, shifting your footsteps in a manner that doesn't crunch and make too much audible snow. You push up, and Cogman and Emma, you guys do the Scooby-Doo thing where one of you pokes your head out and the other one pokes theirs underneath it, and you peer in. You guys both see that it is pretty dark in here, but as your eyes adjust a little bit, you're able to see that it's a relatively roomy area. It actually looks as though there is, although the snow covers the ground outside, the area in here seems to be largely just gray and brown earth with a couple bits of greenery sticking up from a few leaves, as if this ground has been treaded by either multiple things or just multiple times. And in the center, in between just sort of the wooden outside that makes up the ship here, you see quite a few posts. Some of them that actually have what looks to be slightly frozen and hardened ropes attached to them. Based on what Bolt said, you get the sense that this is likely the place where you would keep any of the mounts that you would bring if you were coming to do some hunting here at Lake Numb.
Called it.
You don't see anything else that really draws your attention. Nothing else that's likely would be taken if it wasn't nailed down. So it's just pretty empty besides just being an area where you can get out from the cold and the snow and have a little bit of a place to maybe take a rest and tie the mounts to. And it looks as though a couple bits of the green around here will allow them to kind of graze a little bit and just relax.
This is it. This is the place we can rest if we need to.
Yeah. Looks good, boss.
Excellent work, both of you. Well, everybody, if you're too good to sleep in a barn but not too good enough to die, welcome to the barn.
All right. I guess we bring the Krynos inside and maybe patch up our wounds.
As the Krynos head up, they almost naturally step inside, and you guys watch as you are sort of riding on top of them. They actually just naturally go up to the post and almost wait, as if they've done this a few times before. One of them actually leans down to begin to nuzzle down in a little patch of grass. One of them actually lays down as it finds its spot next to a post.
Aww.
My little buddies are so cool.
everybody that's spending a hit dice hit that D6 button, and you get that as bonus HP.
Boss, if you don't mind, I'm gonna reform a little instead of taking a rest.
I think you could do that over the course of a short rest.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't get anything for a short rest. I'm at full HP.
Oh.
To reassess all of your biomimetic gels, you said, right?
Yeah.
I'm learning.
I knew I picked the right captain.
Wow, man. These healing rolls, not good.
You
Don't get
guys,
hit next time.
pushing through the nastiness of the blizzard, are able to find a little bit of respite here. Still cold, but doesn't have that extra layer of frigidity from the wind hitting you from outside, and you're able to hunker down. Emma, you could probably maybe produce a little flame in here to keep some people warm. But you guys largely just kind of spend an hour to, address some of your wounds now that you're out of the violence of the blizzard. Wrap a couple cuts and nicks, and just generally take a breather here for an hour as the mounts seem to be taking one as well.
I'm just gonna say it. Not a big fan of this planet. Not a big fan.
Yeah,
It
this
is.
planet sucks.
I almost feel like a planet of sand would be better.
Oh man, yeah. Then we can make big old sand castles.
Oh yeah, I think we could go like treasure hunting and stuff.
Oh yeah, very
Yeah.
treasure.
Oh no.
Having like a giant underground pyramid.
Yeah, now we're talking. We should do that.
Being a suit of armor, it sounds terrible. It's coarse and it gets everywhere.
Yeah. But we're on this planet, so.
So, I was thinking, it occurs to me that none of us can breathe underwater.
You're that's a really good observation, Ill.
I'm just saying, it seems, it's just now occurring to me it might be a little bit hard to,
But you are wrong, because I can as an octopus.
Oh, okay. Well, here, you should eat one of those, pepper things first so you don't freeze to death.
I do have a breathing apparatus, but it would take me a long rest to be able to spend the evening to craft it and prep it for the morning.
Nah, let's just chuck the octopus in the hole.
Yeah,
If I had
sure.
$1 for every time I heard that on Neo Gokyo.
But there's monsters down there, like big fish monsters, right, Malik? Malik.
He is sitting in his cart, kind of finishing off now that they're out of the blizzard and you guys are resting a little bit of the ration the thunder gave him, and he says, "Oh, of course, absolutely."
Like, what are we talking about? What kind of monster fish are we dealing with? Like,
He turns and crawls across the cart, putting his hands on the sides, and he goes, "Not fish, little one. Dragons."
whoa,
Sorry?
dragons?
That's what I've heard, at least.
I thought they typically lived in the sky or on a mountain, not underwater.
He shrugs and says, "Don't know. Memory isn't what it used to be, as I said. Maybe they do."
Well, we can talk to dragons, right?
Can we?
I mean, I can telepathically talk to them. That's not something I necessarily want to do.
How come?
Because it's a fucking dragon.
Yeah, but what's the worst that could happen?
You die.
Okay, but sending me down there as an octopus. What is gonna get us better results? You talk with them up here.
You know what? You're right. Send the octopus down.
No, Oh, please look for dragons. Please look for something to talk to under the water, please.
Mallet says, what are you guys headed there for to do anyway?
Well,
Check out the ship.
there's a ship that crashed out here. That's the giant wolf. It was a wolf ship.
A ship from the stars, then.
Yeah, ship from the stars, from the outside.
He taps his chin and then says, that information should be shocking to me. Somehow it isn't.
What town do you hail from?
He shrugs. Other than
that's
remembering
right.
my name, the events of the past week or so have been a bit foggy. Beyond that, there's not much there.
Can I want to like get up in his grill and look at his eyes and I want to do some kind of medicine check to see if he's showing signs of anything that is familiar to like any kind of documented like transforming into a wolf.
All
Like
right. As you begin to get close to him and begin to like push yourself into his personal space, he begins to hold his knife your way a bit.
Don't be stupid.
Not too close, miss.
Well, listen, I'm gonna check you. Don't cut me. Or he's
Check
gonna
me
shoot
for what? He says.
for some kind of disease, stupid. You're clearly forgetting all kinds of things.
I'm not diseased, he says.
Then what are you?
I don't know, but I got my right mind about me.
Well, listen, I'm not basically a doctor, so
Basically.
relax. Okay?
And if you find something wrong with me,
I'll let you know. I'm not gonna judge you. I mean, unless you're contagious.
Could I take an insight check on him?
mm-hmm. Is 7 your total?
Yeah.
He just from the sound of his voice, he just still does not completely trust you guys. There's one of him, a bunch of you.
Look, fair enough. So tell us more about what you know about this wolf then. You know, you were saying that there was a demon up here. We think it ain't no demon, it's something from beyond the stars that crashed here. So what do you know about it?
Not much. I know that there's something that's been terrorizing the town down south. Whether it would have been having some activity here, whether I'm thinking that this demon may have been this ship that you're all calling it now, I'm not sure. Truth be told, I haven't been this north. Those dragons I told you, just stories I heard in the taverns.
Fair enough. All right. Emma, I hint Emma one of the peppers because I'm definitely getting the impression that she's going to need it.
He looks to you and says, you got anything if you're going to be turning into the stuff that you do that can resist the frigid cold of the waters?
Yeah, there's pepper.
I see.
Right? Am I eating this pepper? I take it out of my mouth.
That was the assumption I made.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Emma, you eat the entire pepper, just shoving it into your mouth and snacking down on it.
Yeah.
There is a churning in your stomach, as if you have eaten a burning coal.
I kind of like it.
I need you to please make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Come on, nail it. Fucking nail it.
We were supposed to cut this good stuff down, basically.
Yeah, we were supposed to actually cook it.
Oh.
Oh,
You handed to me in such confidence.
Yeah.
You're the cook, Il. Why would you hand it to me?
Listen, I don't know how mammal digestive tracts work. I assumed you'd be able to handle it.
Oh.
Emma, you are a crafter of flame and heat, yet this heat coming from your stomach, because it's inside of you, just churns and wells, and you grab at your gut. It feels as though you've just used your magic to light a fireball inside your stomach. You take 10 points of fire damage.
Well, I'm glad I just had that rest, because that's exactly the amount I... Oh, this is Il's fault.
Yep.
All right.
Il lights a cigar.
Could I take, sorry to bug you one more time, a history check on if I know of any cold water aquatic animals in my research of anything?
Sure.
It's a +4. I'm taking a leap. I don't know what cold water animals are. I live on a cold, frigid, mechanical planet. I've never watched Animal Planet. I'm so sorry.
You have no idea. Emma, it burns like it hurts as it burns. But as you look around, you almost forget for a second that you're out in the middle in a snow-covered world because your body is just on fire. Those of you standing around her see her kind of wincing in pain. You actually see her sweating a little bit despite being in this snowy area.
Wow.
You know, this frozen lake doesn't look half bad anyway. Alright, so, ping me in my mind. Do not stop pinging me in my mind because I cannot talk as an actor.
Oh, okay. It only goes 60 feet, so once you get outside that range...
What am I looking for again?
You're looking for the wreckage of the ship.
Oh, okay.
Or signs of it or something. Let's see here. I'm gonna walk over to. You said the inside of the boat is like soil, right?
Yeah, like the area in here, it's like a haphazard barn because of the way it's just set up with half a ship sticking out of the ground. But yeah, the ground is dirt, soil, black and brown, and with a little bit of tufts of green sticking out.
I'm gonna use a crowbar to take out like 4 big clods of soil, and I'm gonna use my Artificer magical tinkering to light each of them up so that there's it's like 4 rocks that emit 5 feet of light. And I'm gonna drop. So I'm gonna wait for a few. As soon as you leave my telepathy, Octopus, I'm gonna drop these rocks down so you can find your way back.
What, can't you just, like make them tie the rope like you did with everyone else?
I mean, I guess. How would we know to pull you up?
Well,
we can't. Exactly. Trust in the clods. The clods will lead you back to the surface. Trust in the clods.
Is it the light spell that you were doing?
No, I literally have something called magical tinkering where I can make something emit 5 feet radius of light.
Is it like anything? Can we tie like an anchor and turn that?
Yep, we absolutely can do that.
Does anybody have anchor type thing?
Thunder, don't you have little knickknacks?
Oh, I've got these pitons, pitons. What do you call them? The things you put in a wall when you're climbing it.
Pitons.
Pitons. Yes, I take out some pitons.
I think called pitons though.
Okay. Pitons. I have 10 of them, so I do that to them instead. That way we can drop them down pretty easy. And I tie my rope to one of them, so it's like an anchor.
Sure.
Yeah. Listen, it'll be fine. You're our only hope. You're the only one that can do this. Good luck.
Okay, I'm the only hope. I'm the only one that can do this. I'm on fire. I'm gonna be an octopus. I turn into an octopus at the edge.
Well, hold on. You guys are heading that way?
Oh,
Yeah.
we're not there yet. Okay.
Or
Okay.
we're still in the barn.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
You, I
Okay,
mean,
I'm
you can
sorry.
turn into one now, but
No,
it'll
wait.
still be a little bit of a trip to get there.
Let's start hoofing it then. Let's go.
The good news is, if you do have to go on the ice, there's this really cool grid ball team, and every time they score, they throw octopi, and they just kind of like bounce across the ground. It's good news. You'll be fine, I promise.
That sounds like animal cruelty.
It checks out.
No, they're usually dead.
That's a perfectly good waste of food, then.
I'm assuming you guys tie the Krynos to the posts here to keep them mounted.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys use the reins and the rope associated with what you're given with the barding and make sure and tie them down. They look like they've done this before. They don't even move as you just kind of attach the rope to their barding and then to the post. And you guys head back out into the cold. You look up ahead just as you were before, heading out of the city, just trying to head due north. You continue to step through the crunching snow. And as 10 minutes pass, 15, the crunching of the snow beneath your feet begins to lessen and slowly gives way to a flatter surface that sounds more like crunching glass as you take your steps. You all can see that this area here is giving way to just a completely flat surface of hard ice. The snow begins to slowly dissipate some, lightly covering the area here of the surface of the top of the icy lake. And you guys step with a bit of caution as you hear the subtle crunch underneath your footsteps as you step over. You look down and can't really tell. It feels as though it's thick as you kind of put your foot down. You don't know how thick exactly it is without a check. And underneath the ice, you can just see the inky blackness that makes up Lake Numb.
I submit that we should all spread out at least like 15 feet from one another. You know, socially distanced and all that. But also in case one of us falls in, you know.
Actually, should we? I feel like we should tie rope between each of us.
Okay, we got plenty of room.
In case we fall in, you can pull out.
All right, we do that. We tie together some rope. We each got 50 feet of it, so should take but a couple lengths of it, you know?
You guys make sure to tie one another to each other. That way, if someone falls in, they may drag the rest of you in, and you guys are successfully tied together. And keeping some social distancing in mind, you continue pressing forward across the crunching ice below your feet. After another 10 minutes or so travel, you guys getting the idea now that the coverage of this lake is probably pretty damn vast. The nomenclature of a lake may not particularly describe this area, or at the very least, it's much larger than you had thought it before. It is largely just open and flat everywhere you look before going off into the darkness. The only thing that really defines the area further north past the lake, like I said, is the silhouette in the far distance of the mountainous region. However, as you guys continue trekking, your eyes slowly more and more adjusting to the low light from the reddish moon up above, from the nearby sun that casts and reflects some light off of it onto the surface here, reflecting off of the ice here and giving it a little bit of light. You notice in the distance that this just complete flat sheet of ice begins to break apart up ahead. And you can see slow shifting pieces of moving ice that moves around just very slowly. It looks like the whole diameter of this broken up area is pretty damn vast.
like actively breaking, or
No, like it's already been broken. It just looks
okay.
like as you step up ahead, the
There's
actual water of the lake comes through in between large chunks of floating ice that looks like they could be traveled across if you guys were willing to try.
I guess we don't see anywhere that would have been the obvious site of the crash. It's probably closed up
You
by now.
guys can certainly make any checks that you'd like. Just remember, perception checks are done at disadvantage because it's difficult to see here, unless you have special vision.
Can I make?
Go ahead.
Can I make an investigation? I have dark vision if it helps.
Sure.
I was gonna make a survival check on the ice. Is this a normal place for this ice to break up?
That's a perfectly normal check.
I investigate the ice with 23.
19.
Wow, nice.
With your 23, what exactly are you trying to investigate?
I'm trying to find an area of the ice that might look like more recently frozen. Basically, I'm trying to find where the ship crashed, if there is a spot nearby.
So we'll say that Bolt, with your survival check, you get the sense from the formation of the way the ice is, as well as how it's still slightly moving, that this is not naturally formed.
It's odd that there's moving water here in a lake. Those are usually sedentary bodies of water. Large, though.
You get from the cold nature of this planet that likely the lake would, unless searching parties actually tried to carve an area out of the lake, that the whole thing should probably be frozen over. Without any type of like creature or man-made intervention. With your investigation check, Ill, you, as Cogman a little bit too, but especially with Ill, you're able to sense that and look out and watch the floating movement of the ice pieces. There seems to be less and less towards the epicenter of this kind of vast, open, broken area here. So it is likely that if anything was to have been submerged in the ice, it's at the epicenter of this open area of flowing water.
Okay. Guys, I'm going to be honest. Despite the tentacles, I'm useless in water.
Yeah, I don't swim, really.
Oh.
I think I've swam before. I don't remember.
You're a giant hippo.
I am a captain. I sail across the seas.
Well, it sure is looking an awful lot like it's octopus time.
Malik looks to you guys and says, "Is this your ship?"
No.
Then what are you people doing here? I've explained myself. What's so interesting about this thing to you all?
Tell him and push him in.
Find out.
I psychically say to Bolt, look, just fucking tell him. Nobody's gonna believe him. Everyone here's fucking crazy and no one believes each other about anything anyway.
Yeah, well, you see, we've come because we're looking for this ship that's down here. That's all.
We're getting paid, man.
That's right.
Well, even if you happen to find out that the ship is here,
Sure.
kind of hard to get to it, you know?
It is.
Were you looking to take the whole ship?
We're worried it might be dangerous, that's all.
We need to find out if there's any information on it.
I see. Well, I can only tell you as a bit of a word of warning. You can send one person down. But depending on the size of this ship, whatever's roaming the waters may be dangerous. But I'll leave that to you, he says as he spins the knife in his hands.
I don't want to do it anymore, Bull. I don't feel confident that I'm going to be able to do it. Even if we get to the ship, but how am I going to get on the ship? I don't even know what to do on a ship, and unless it's a Spelljammer, then I'll be able to do something, but there's things on the ship still.
In the shape of a wolf, you say, he says.
Huh?
Right.
Well, that's what they say. We didn't say that exactly, but
Oh.
it's actually very confusing. It's one of the questions that I'm really, actually, frankly, the most interested to see.
Kind of
Why it's called wolf.
scratches his head and looks off into the distance.
Hello? Did I bore you already?
Hi.
No.
I have that effect on people. I wouldn't be. Sorry.
Hey, Malik, you don't know anything about this ship at all? Doesn't ring any bells?
Something about it. Now that you're telling me it's a ship.
Could I take a look at his clothing and see if it looks like it's native to here?
You don't have to make any checks unless you really want to. His clothing looks like most of what other people were wearing in the town.
Yeah.
Some
We found like a camp where it looked like he was set up.
thick furs and stuff like that. Malik turns and says, well, at the very least, if you want to go ice hopping, I at least know from what small memory I have from before this thing happened to me, that if any ship capsizes, there's likely to be chunks that are still floating at the top.
Ah,
Oh. Well,
good call.
Bolt turns to Emma. Maybe you don't have to go all the way down?
Okay, I ate the pepper already, so I might as well use it right.
I mean, just look. Nothing will go wrong because you've already got practice. As soon as you got the chance, you turn it and tail. You've already done this exactly once before, and it worked out perfect. There were no hiccups.
Yeah, little one.
Back
Go
alive.
swimming down there in the inky black darkness.
You're not helping.
Oh,
Okay.
actually, that's a good. That begs another question. Maybe have another animal with different senses that could just like smell underneath the ice, or hear underneath the ice, or sniff underneath the ice.
Can you turn into like a seal or a shark? That would be really cool. Like a big whale. Turn to a whale.
I'm open to all suggestions, by the way, on this. If anybody has ideas.
I mean, I still got the pythons ready to go if we need.
Sure, that seems a mighty slow way to go looking for something, but
I wouldn't want to stir anything up, but do you think we should toss something in the water to see if there's anything stirring in there first?
How about a pit?
maybe before Emma goes in, but not just willy-nilly.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Before she goes in, and give it a minute. I mean, Elle can make the light up things, and I could make one of them that makes like a, kind of like I did before, that little ping. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
That may make her going down there a little safer. I'm looking for a way to not send her down there at all, if we've got any of those ideas.
Operation Anchor, take one. I'm gonna tie one of these pittons to a rope. Give me that thing that's making the noise. Thunderfall.
I'm just gonna grab a little like bolt or just a single nut and infuse it to.
He's got two.
I grab a spare part and I infuse it.
Good night, everybody.
More time, I'm just going to tell you now.
Boss, do you have anything in your bag?
Alright, now that you...
Okay. All right. Now that everyone's got that out of their system,
I would like to reach into my supplies pouch and pull out a spare piece of metal and infuse it with the as loud of a resonating ping as I can.
So I'm gonna tie that together with the pitten at the end of the rope.
It's like an ear-piercing ring as you're tying it up.
Ow, ow, ow. I'm gonna slowly lower it into the water. Hey, big guy, can you hold me by the shoulders in case I get something on the line, you know?
You gotta cast it. You can't just lower it. You gotta cast that shit out there. Have you ever fished before?
All right.
Oh,
Jason,
before you
Get
Jason, what do I gotta do to cast this out here?
Ironhide. Ironhide will grab Ill with like a seatbelt grip, like one around the waist tight, and
Do like
one around the neck.
if you're throwing it, do like an improvised weapon attack, like a ranged one.
Before he throws it, I'm allowed to also add an odor to it. I'm gonna make it smell like fish.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Oh, are we trying to lure something or just checking it out?
Yes. Yes, to both.
We're going fishing.
That wasn't the original plan I had, I admit, but that's what's happening now. That's what's happening now. I do that thing where I like spin the rope and the pittons and then yep. Hey, that's actually not bad. That's a 17 total.
You're able to toss it like quite a few yards out. Actually, it's a pretty strong throw as you kind of just underhand throw it. It arcs through the air and splashes in the wavy waters quite a few yards ahead. The shrill ringing becomes subdued as it's submerged. There's still a little bit of a pungent smell of fish in the air that slowly diffuses, and you all watch as you guys tied this to rope, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just like feeding the rope into it. Did you attach anything that was glowing onto there, or just this?
The pitten was
The pittons,
glowing.
okay. So yeah, you watch as some of those also begin to submerge and glow a faint glow as it becomes a little more subtle and subtle as it continues to sink. You keep feeding the rope in ill. Ironhide, you're holding onto his shoulders, right?
One across the waist and one kind of
Okay.
across the chest like a seatbelt.
Giving him a Brokeback Mountain little hug as ill feeds the line in here.
Whisper in your ear how much of your favorite I am. Oh yeah.
Oh god.
You keep feeding it for like a good solid minute, ill. And then another one passes by. 3 minutes. And then you look back and see that you probably only got about, what are you guys using, like a 50-foot rope?
Yeah, it would be 50 foot.
You've been kind of just slowly feeding, almost doing like a fishing technique. You've got only about 10 feet of rope still to go.
We had that 100-foot long one all stitched
Okay,
together.
so yeah. So we'll say that you look behind you and still have plenty of rope. But it's been about 2, maybe 3 minutes. Nothing yet.
Okay. Probably safe there. It even
Okay.
smells like fish.
Okay.
You've got this, Emma. I'm sure nothing will go wrong.
Stop saying that.
If anything happens, just do the thing where you turn out of it and then poof, like use fire. You could be like the ghost pepper thing was in your stomach to them. Surely they'll spit you out.
I'm gonna start reeling in the line.
You start reeling in the line, and then your hands burn as the rope begins to be pulled through
Ow.
your palms. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw as jerks forward. At advantage because you're holding on to him, Ironhide. You grip tightly, making sure you both don't get pulled into the water. As the line just goes tight.
Oh, Jesus. Ironhide, hold on.
Oh god. It's a 13. That's my next save.
Along with the let me see here. Can you add a D6 to it from Bolt's thing?
Well, Bolt said it was on.
Ironhide. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. 13 total. With that, you Ironhide, feel yourself pulled across the ice, and you just instinctively gripping the rope as it's being pulled, find yourself just slipping straight off the edge and plunging into the icy cold waters below you.
Ironhide.
I jump in. I'm an octopus, and I jump in after them. I don't want them to get hurt.
So Ironhide got pulled in with me?
Ironhide, you're like at the edge, and he kind of slipped through your hands as he's pulled past you.
Uh-oh.
Stay there, he'll let go. There's no way he's gonna hold on, that'd be stupid.
You hear the splash of water, as Emma in octopus form, as you kind of open your eyes underwater and look next to you and see her there.
Quickly, I imagine almost in shock, is psychically says, "Here, take one of these other pittons, wrap a tentacle around it so we can see you from underwater," and then I immediately start scrambling to the surface.
You kick up above the surface, gasping for air a little bit, and find yourself right there with Ironhide standing up above you and kind of clasp the side of the broken ice to pull yourself back up.
Oh, you big oaf! You were supposed to hold on to me!
I wasn't ready.
You didn't want him.
That's alright, he's there now, get him out.
I
Palm mill like a basketball. Just pick him up.
like a squishy basketball.
You're wet.
What kind of vision does an octopus have, Emma?
An octopus, a giant octopus, has large beaks.
Large size for giant octopus?
I am, yes.
Okay.
Underwater camouflage. Sight. Dark vision 60 feet.
Nice.
There you go.
Important follow-up. Can we see the glow of the pitten that I gave the octopus before I went back up to the top of the water?
I mean, so she's just like you just kind of were pulled in. You weren't dragged down per se. So she's maybe just a couple feet under the water. So yeah, you can definitely see the light glowing from her.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
As I kind of just shiver and try to immediately take clothes off and start wringing out the ice cold water. I want to psychically say, maybe check around on the surface. Maybe Malik was on something with that whole,
Stuff will float to the top.
Also, I don't know what took that bait, but I don't think you want to mess with it, Miss Octopus.
Okay, I'm not gonna mess with the big. Can I see anything at 60 feet in this water?
You can see, because was pulling it back up, that the rope descends probably about 40 or so feet deep. And you can see where the last bobbing, pitten, glowing light is a little bit beneath that, where the metal piece that Thunder put on it at the very end is just gone. It just looks like torn rope down at the end. The ends of it kind of splitting and fraying out slowly in the water.
Okay.
Silence intensifies.
You hear the churning and rolling of the waters up above, but down here, submerged, besides the occasional sound of a flowing bubble, it is silent.
Okay.
Besides the rope and the darkness of underneath the sheet of ice around you, and some of the ice chunks floating out more towards the center of the broken up area here, around on all sides and down below you, you just see inky blackness.
I am going to use underwater camouflage.
Okay.
You know what? I have this pin. Can I hide the pin under my belly? Octopus belly.
You put it in your in between your tentacles, kind of wrapped up, holding it, squeezing tight to cover the light as you kind of propel yourself forward.
I'll just wrap it up and put my
What does your stealth do? Your camouflage?
The octopus has advantage on dexterity stealth checks while being underwater. So
Nice.
yeah.
So, Emma, you're like a good 5, maybe 10 feet underneath the surface. You've wrapped up this light, so it's no longer visible. You feel particularly stealthy. You throw up one of your tentacles and see the patterns on it shift and change to more of a natural look to the dark waters around you, almost making you the same inky blackness. What do you do?
I will look for this ship or a dragon or creature. I want something that will help us with some kind of clue.
So you begin swimming down towards the center of the lake, or just down straight where you are?
Towards the center, I suppose, since that's where the crash was.
Okay. Based on, I think it was Ill's investigation check, at the center of this lake is likely where the ship may still be, if there's any pieces left of it. You begin to slowly shift your way down, kind of an arched nature, heading both deep but also towards the center. If you're trying to be stealthy, give me a stealth check.
I sure will. At advantage.
She's probably dead, you know.
Did it roll again for me? No. Okay, you know what? Roll 20.
Come on, roll 20, you piece of... I love you, roll 20. Spotlight us again.
Alright, at advantage.
Halfling, yeah.
Oh, good thing for
But
that
that wasn't
camouflage.
It wasn't. It was because I'm a giant octopus that is in...
Also, technically, you're not a halfling right now. You're a giant octopus.
Yeah, it's my
Yes,
underwater.
she is.
Yeah, halfling, half octopus.
You feel like underneath these waters, with no other large features here, just the darkness of the waters around you, and your own camouflage taking part and making you fuse in with it. You feel particularly stealthy as you begin to swim down. What's your passive perception?
For passive.
You can use your own.
Oh,
As
I
a druid.
can.
Yeah.
Let's see if
I imagine you're more wise than an octopus.
She did
Well.
set the ship on fire, I think, one time.
Hey, it's relative.
It's all relative, okay. You're
An
right.
octopus couldn't start that fire.
That's a good point.
It's 13. Well, wait, hold on. I use the octopuses. It's 14. The octopus is higher than mine.
Good.
After you swam about 50 more feet down, you can't tell where it's coming from, but you hear the sound of churning water and bubbles.
Does it sound like a natural, like, swimming sound? Like an animal sound? Or does it sound mechanic?
Give me a check for that. Like a nature check or investigation check.
Nature. Oh, fuck.
You are unsure.
Okay. Alright. Well, can I pinpoint where it's coming from?
Nope. You
Okay.
have no idea.
I continue to try my best itself.
Okay. You continue to swim down into the inky blackness. You continue swimming. The last tiny bits of what were already subtle rays of moonlight coming down and piercing through the open waters here, beginning to fade from up above. You continue swimming. You have dark vision. But this lake or sea almost is just almost completely devoid of any features despite what was on the surface. However, up ahead, after you swam down for what feels like about maybe 200 feet, you see a large object, almost triangular in nature, sticking up and just going off in the darkness because of its size. But you're able to see this triangular object that is refracting just the faintest bit of light from the surface across its almost reflective body. And you see at the end of this, like where the triangular shape comes to a point at the top, what looks to be a claw, a large claw.
My God, she's gonna do it.
A claw, like a mechanical claw, or an animal claw, Jason?
You'd have to swim closer to be able to see it more clearly.
Do it.
I do it with stealth.
Sure. Give me another stealth check to move in closer.
Do it.
First sign of trouble.
I crit that.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
I'm gonna give you a good girl card for that.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Take one of them.
Okay, thank you.
Staying stealthy, using the natural camouflage of your giant octopus form, you push forward a bit. You close the distance in, and now you can see at the base of the triangle, as it flays out, it actually is attached to a massive structure below you. And you now see up where the curled claws of whatever this is at the tip are, it seems to be made of pure steel. The bottom of this, what now looks almost like a wing-like shape, opens up and attaches to a massive oval shape below you that even continues beyond your vision into the darkness. And what looks like attaches to a large steel vessel of some type.
Does this look like a spelljammer?
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
Does it look like it swims?
Yep.
You'd have to make a check, because otherwise, considering it's at the bottom of the lake, you may guess that it might not. But you can make a check to see.
Well, I don't know if it was just like hiding out. I don't know.
You don't know. It's like the what you're guessing the wing of it is almost like sticking up, angled out of the ground, almost like that ship that you guys rested at before.
I see. Okay.
But knowledge checks are free. It's a good idea.
Let's see. Can I get closer to the ship to see if maybe is this something that somebody can survive in for a while, or just crashed?
You continue swimming around to sea. You begin looking for what, like openings or anything, like hatches or some type of opening to go through?
Sure. Yeah.
As you swim around, give me a perception check.
Perception. +4. But what is my Emma's perception? Probably not as good, and it's not. Oh, prey is giant octopus. 15.
Pretty good.
You begin to like follow the triangular shape of this wing down to the base where it looks like the body of the ship is. And this is big. It's like it even makes your guys' new ship pale in the squid ship pale in comparison to the size of this thing. This probably held a sizable amount of crew members in it at one point.
It's not about the size of the ship, it's about the crewmates on it.
What?
You get to the body, and you like do that thing, Emma, where you just kind of begin swimming along the surface to just see if there's any open areas. You can now see that the ship, the hull integrity took a lot of damage and what was likely some type of crash or something. Obviously from the impact and the ice certainly hurt it. And with your 15 perception, it's not long before a little up ahead you see that it almost looks as though the front end of the ship is completely broken off from the body. you can now see in the far distance what looks like, in the inky darkness, the top head of a wolf made completely out of steel that would have made up the front of the ship.
Bingo bongo.
And then like where the neck or shoulders of the wolf-shaped ship would be, it is detached from there, and there seems to be quite a few feet of separation between the two.
Okay. Does it look like this ship was shot down? Can I pinpoint like any battle marks or
with your 15 perception, you don't notice anything that would give you the obvious sign of like ballista attacks or any type of indention in the side of the ship that would suggest to you that it was attacked by anything from the outside. At least from what you can see here. This ship is massive, but you don't see anything from this area that you swam so far.
Okay. I'll continue investigating it.
You continue swimming through the inky darkness. Your squid form continues to give you a certain dexterity here, even in the deep waters. It's relatively comfortable, on top of the fact that now that you've gotten over the pervasive heat from originally eating the pepper is actually providing you with a really nice amount of warmth here. It feels like swimming in a warm pool as you continue to push around here. You push ahead, and you can now swim into the gap in between where the front of the ship is separated from the back. You see like a ship torn in two, almost like a dissection of a ship where you can see multiple rooms that were broken in half, and what looks to be at the top sort of long hallway. Give me just another perception check.
A 9.
It takes you a bit of time as you swim around. There's a lot of refuse here. None of it looks noteworthy. There's a lot of what looks like blankets, a couple different pieces of armaments, maybe some swords and other type of weapons, but they're largely broken or just, completely covered in the decay of water covering them for some time, and you kind of just push through. Go ahead.
And anything that looks like manacles or things that they would, the cages of any sorts?
You continue swimming through, and soon just find yourself naturally swimming down the hallway to kind of begin moving through some rooms. As you pass a couple rooms, you finally spot a room as you peer an octopus eye into that looks like it has a large cell of bars that is held inside of it. On the opposite side, on the other side of the hallway, like directly across the hall in the other room, you see a room that looks, because of the equipment in here, you see a number of tubes and flasks, a lot of them broken and punctured, that seem to float around here, and what looks like a couple different desks and things. It looks as though it almost may be some type of like research room on the right side.
Let me look at that research room.
You open up your tentacles and push yourself into the room, peering around. You see floating around this room a number of pieces of debris. There's a lot of paperwork actually in here, but a lot of it, because it's waterlogged, is in pretty bad shape. I'm going to ask for one more perception check to see if you can peer, or another check if you want.
Oh, fuck. I'm lucky.
Ah!
Yep.
Ah! I'm lucky!
You at first don't see anything of note, but take a little extra time, considering all of your extra appendages, to just move through the different waterlogged pieces of paper here. These almost look like probably some type of valuable notes, but unfortunately as you just move your tentacles through them, they just like easily come apart. You begin to feel a little disheartened that you may find no information here. However, one of your tentacles finally does land on what feels like some type of box that has the dimensions that would be of some type of paperwork.
Love.
It's like 8 by 11 with a couple inches of thickness. It's a steel box. It looks like it could potentially be open.
Does it look like I can just grab it?
Yeah, you have one of your tentacles wrapped around it.
Yep. Swoopy swipe. I swipe it.
All right. You see a number of other interesting things in here, but nothing that would give you like information that you guys are trying to gather. A lot of interesting areas here that look like different pieces of like stuff that would be used in like chemistry and things like that. But this is the only thing you find that looks like, if there is anything inside, because it looks pretty closed tightly as you kind of pull this metal box up to your face, that it may actually have survived the water log of, you know, the water around here that's destroyed pretty much everything else.
Okay. All right. Well, that's something. Are there other rooms that are open?
Oh, there's tons of rooms, yes.
Okay, Jason. You two just slowly, quietly look. I want to make sure there's nothing in the rooms before I go in them. Like I'm checking before, I'm looking before I leave, kind of thing. And I'm looking for any kind of indication if they kept if they were like slave workers, like we thought they were or think they are.
As you leave this room where you gathered some of this this metal box and looked through some paperwork that was destroyed, you do remember that there is a room on the other side that seemed to have a rather large like cage or holding cell in it on the other opposite side. There's plenty of other rooms that line the hallway though further down if you wanted to explore that too.
Well, I don't want to be here for any longer than I need to be, and I want to try to get crucial information, so I want to check the cage out.
Okay, you swim into the other room quickly. You find a pretty sizable cage here. This one takes up almost half of this relatively large room here. There is, I don't know how an octopus would smell. I'm sure they have that sense of perception to them. I'll just say that you're able to see over on one of the nearby walls here. It looks like there is a steel door that is half open, and in the darkness of what looks like almost like a closeted or maybe like walk-in like closet type of area or storage room, you see a number of floating chunks of meat that seem to be in a certain state of decay.
Okay.
The door to the cells here, you also note, is wide open. It's not like closed or shut or anything. You also don't see any bodies in here. At least none that you notice in this room. So no like corpses inside the cell or anything like that.
I didn't even think about the water being magically enchanted at all. Can I do a check on the water? An arcana check on the water?
Sure.
Actually, I want to detect magic the water, if I could.
Okay.
Cast that.
You throw a tentacle up to cast Detect Magic. You wait for a ping of a magical sensation to hit you, but nothing happens.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Alright, cool. And then... Was there any... I can't... Thinking back, Captain Bolt said to look around, and did I need to get anything specific? Me as a player can't remember.
Me as a player, I'm also kind of short on what we were doing out here.
Well, we were just trying to figure out the purpose of the ship, because that was why we were originally here in the first place, was to check out Vodani, right? The Vodani activity?
Yes. You guys found information from the Neogi ship that seemed to suggest that the Vodani were up to something, and you were able to cross-reference the ship called the Clapperclaw and use the coordinates you obtained to find out that the Neogi sect of the Trine was working with the Vodani, and that the ship was headed this way for whatever reason. And having a sense that the Trine may be up to something strange, your outrider, Barry, had sent you to go investigate. You guys didn't know at the time that the ship would be completely submerged underwater, Emma. So you feel as though any information you can gather is better than nothing. Even if it means just noticing what's going on in some of the places in the ship, and maybe whatever information may be in this like steel hard case that you have in one of your tentacles.
Great.
So like ship's logs and like whatever they're hauling or whatever their ship is like set up to be.
Okay.
Like if it's a warship or if it's a cargo ship, a transport ship.
Okay. Yeah. Then I would look for that stuff. I would look for like a storage room. I would look for. I got this box. I would look for what Captain Bolt would have briefed me on before I went down.
Okay. You begin swimming around more. This place is massive and is eerie, but you almost feel a bit safer here than being outside in the naked area of the waters itself. You push through a couple more rooms that just seem to be made up of either like latrines or areas where it seems like crew members can eat. You push open another door and reel back as the corpse of a lycanthrope-like humanoid floats in the waters, their eyes just staring at you lifelessly.
I want to look for... Oh, that's really sad. I want to look for keys or anything important on these corpses and in this, like, room.
You begin to shift your way into the room. This looks like some type of meeting room, and you do now notice that there's 2 other corpses here. You begin to search their bodies. Give me some type of perception check or something else if you want. Sleight of hand or something to try and see if you can find anything.
I'll do perception, I suppose.
Okay.
Want D20. Let's go. Here we go. It's rolling, I promise. 20.
Whoa!
A 30-20.
Nice. You find a couple things in the very soiled pockets of the soldiers here. Trinkets mostly, but they're all so covered in water that they seem relatively useless.
Okay.
You don't find a batch of keys on any of the particular lycanthrope-like characters around here. There's the lycanthrope-like werewolf-looking humanoid that was up at the front. He's actually not wearing a ton of clothes. He has some very ripped, baggy pants on. The other 2 humanoids are actually dressed, but you do notice they're humanoids. They look more human, but they actually have, like, you see their mutton chops like go out and are wild across their face, almost in a little bit of a werewolf manner. One of their mouths, their jaw kind of open and distended, and you can actually see their canines a bit sharpened, almost as if they have traits of some type of lycanthropy.
Cool.
You rummage around in one of their pockets and do happen to find 20 platinum in the pockets that, because of the water, it hasn't ruined it.
Woo! 20 platinum. Alright. I am now in my... Yes. Cool.
You also now hear, using your check to move around in the room, you hear the subtle sound of a low growl coming from somewhere. It sounds like the low rumble of like an alligator growl.
Nice.
Okay. Oh fuck. Does that mean it sees me? I'm a stealthy little. Okay. I wanna slowly. Can I look around?
Sure.
I wanna search to see if I see anything looking at me.
You look around the room. We'll go along with your perception check that you already made. You don't notice anything in the immediate room. Like there's no other entryways besides the front door. There's like some desks and stuff that are sort of like floating a couple feet off of the surface here, but nothing that would be hidden anywhere where you wouldn't notice it, at least with this check. There is a porthole out on the side that looks out into the dark waters by you. And as you look up, you see the last bit of what looks like something whipping by quickly through the waters on the outside of the ship.
Does it look small enough to get inside?
You have no idea.
Okay. Okay. Alright. I want to quietly find my way back out. Not completely out. I want to quietly go through the ship.
Sure. You like exit this room, light still hidden, and tentacle wrapped firmly around this steel bookcase or whatever this is holding, and make your way out towards the front, like to the open area that would lead outside of the ship, where the front of the ship was broken apart from the further area up ahead. That's like the very front. It's open here. You now see the openness of the waters around here, but haven't left this area just yet.
And I don't see anything?
You see nothing.
Nope, don't trust that. Can I... Does it look like I can take the light and throw it out of the ship and it will go down further into the abyss?
Yeah, you're like close enough where you could give it a good sling and it'll go a couple feet out before it slowly begins to descend towards the bottom of the area here where the ship was broken up with the body.
I do that.
Alright, so you kind of use one of your tentacles and like wrap it up like a coil and then just kind of sling it out, unraveling it. The... What are these called? The pitons. The glowing... the python, the piton is thrown out in front of you some feet before the nature of the water kind of catches its movement, and it slowly begins to sink. How much light does this provide?
5 feet.
Okay. So 5 feet, but still enough to be practically the only thing visible here with some amount of light to it, as the rest of this area is in complete darkness. You toss it out, Emma, in your octopus form, and kind of just watch as it begins to sink. You continue to watch, and you see now, after about 30, 40 seconds, and a minute, it slowly touches base a couple feet outside of the ship on the surface of the lake here, still glowing. You hear the sound of moving water.
I watch intently.
Like your life depends on it?
Like my life depends on it.
Peering up... Oh, go ahead, Luke.
No, I was going to say, why would you say that? Why would you...
Peering up at the top of the ship, where it's broken off at the very top, you see 2 scaly claws wrap themselves around the top of the ship, and a large scaly creature's head peer around and look down towards the glowing object. Its face, long and narrow, covered in scales. The bottom half a palish skin tone or cream. The top half covered in brilliant blue scales that catch some of the light from the glowing object below. A long, almost crocodilian-like maw covered in sharp teeth. The creature, seeing the object down below, quickly pushes past, right past you as it swims down below. You see its long, spindly body stretch out, practically your size, as it descends, almost out of curiosity, swimming down below at the light. Here, hang on just a second. I'll show you a picture.
I need to check this bad boy.
Hang on. Let me make it a decent some size here. You see this one by you.
Oh, she's dead.
No.
Oh, my picture was accurate then.
I need to check it, Jason.
Okay. It swims by and begins to just shift through the water, its body swaying as it heads down towards the glowing light down below.
Go, fucking go. What are you doing?
I do want to nature check it. I also do want to start stealthily making my way up to the top.
Sure. With your nature check of 21, that's pretty damn good. This has all of the appearance of some type of dragon-like creature that is able to swim through the waters and has a very predatory style to it as it moves through the waters down below.
All
You
right.
watch as it reaches below, and you begin to slowly push out from the ship and try to just stealthily begin to slowly move back towards the surface.
I am floating up to the surface very quietly, minding my own business with water. I have water.
You look down and you can see it almost like playfully claws at the glowing light for just a second. It snaps its jaws at it and then lets go, seeing that it's not food.
Oh.
Give me a stealth check as you begin to head towards the top.
You have advantage, don't forget it.
Yeah.
Does your good luck card help at all?
It does, and I can do it anytime I want, so let me just roll stealth first. Let me read my card first. Advantage skill on any attack or skill. So I guess I already had advantage. Great. Okay. Oh, Jesus.
Fuck. You almost fucking...
Kicking the nuts too.
Yeah, you're almost fucking calamari. Holy shit.
You keep your eyes locked on the thing down below that almost turns its interest from the light towards some of the interior of the ship, continuing to swim up, doing it as stealthily and as quietly, not to make too much movement through the waters as possible. You almost completely miss the thrush of water that happens above you, and quickly look up to see another one swimming right past you that seems to have completely missed that you were there. Its tail whipping through the water behind you and throwing you back almost just a foot or two as you continue to ascend.
Oh, how about that?
At any point, if ill pings my mind at any point, I'm just going...
What's the range on that, ill?
60 feet. I've been periodically doing it as I succumb to hypothermia slowly.
You're like about 300 feet below the surface, so it's pretty far down. You all are waiting for Emma. You continue pinging ill, but don't receive anything back for like a good 15-20 minutes by now. Everyone hasn't heard back from her.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I think she's probably dead. I haven't heard back in like 15 minutes.
How long did it take her to go down into the jail and come back?
I mean that's how long it's been overall. Is like that amount of time.
What? She's a methodical worker. I'm sure she'll show back up. Give her about 3 more minutes, and then we'll get worried. Okay.
All right.
Emma,
Our
you're
funeral.
you're doing that. Sorry for interrupting. I try not to step on people. I'm bad at it. Emma, you're doing that like mix of like trying to swim stealthily, but just trying to quickly swim and get out of the water.
I saw tears coming.
Their attention seems largely focused on the ship, at least the one down below. The other one just seems to almost just scout through the waters, occasionally peering around, kicking through the waters, usually largely using its tail to kind of propel it forward. There's a couple times that you're almost convinced it spots you, but nothing happens as it turns its view and just continues to scan the waters. You can also now see, as one of its rounds, it swims by relatively close, but with a pretty high check. It doesn't see you. That there is a bit of what looks like frayed rope sticking out from between two of its teeth.
That's the one that got away. Okay.
You
Alright.
continue swimming. It's
One
about
that
at this point that, if you're trying to continually ping her, that it would work.
Oh, there you are.
Please. Please.
What? What? Oh, there's two to what?
Dragons.
Oh, hey guys, there actually is dragons down there.
Well, be a son.
Emma,
Also dead.
the surface continues to grow closer and closer, Emma. You can't see down below now where the first one was, curious about the ship. The second one you were seeing practically just moving along, worriedly swimming around you the whole way, although not seeming to notice you. Although now you can't see that one either. But you do see that about 15 more feet up, as you kind of quickly squid your little tentacle arms, you're able to push up to the surface now. You all see Emma in her giant octopus form push through the surface of the water.
Hey, welcome back.
She's gonna slowly like crawl up on the surface and then roll, and then as she's rolling, she's gonna turn back into Emma. She's gonna continue rolling with the box in her hand, and she'll get up. I got this box. Here you go, Bolt.
Sure. I hand it to Cogman.
I don't
Thank
think
you.
we should be on the ice anymore. I wanna go. I wanna go home. I
Well,
don't want here.
okay, well, I mean, let's see what's in this box, and maybe that means that we
Don't go
can't.
over the box. No, the box can't bolt. Not right here. Let's see if we can stay here.
What? How? Why?
There's two. There's two really big
Oh,
aquatic dragon creatures down there.
I missed that. They are quite large.
They're large.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
Malik chuckles in the background.
I still need to know why that ship was here, though.
So yeah, we have a box full of evidence. There's some dead bodies down there. They looked a little rough. They looked a little wolfy. There was one that was. One was a wolf, right?
Yeah, one looked like straight up werewolf.
Yeah, one was a wolf. There were some that were wolfy. And there was a big cage with lots of rotting meat down there.
Oh,
It was definitely a Vadani ship.
All right. Well, that's confirmation, right?
yeah. I mean, I suppose, but it doesn't really tell us what they were doing here. And the whole time that Bolt was talking to Emma, he had given the lockbox to Cogman, and he kept on making like signals, like.
Oh, good.
Cogman, you have in your hands this rectangular steel box. What do you do with it? Cogman?
Damn it.
I'm sorry.
Emma's return, and Bolt handed over the steel box over to you.
Yeah. See if you could open the lockbox.
Let's see here. What is that? Sleight of hand or?
I'll say give me like a athletics check to try and
Okay.
pry it open.
Oh, hey, second time it's coming useful today. Here's a crowbar. You have advantage on it.
Excellent. Advantage. Athletics. 15.
Nice. Using the crowbar, you're able to pry it open. There is a metal clang as the front face of it pops. And Cogman, you flip it over. Grabbing from inside are a number of documents that unfortunately were still damaged by the water, quite a few of them illegible and essentially turned into mush. There is, however, a few of them that, despite having a blotchy nature to the pinned writing and a couple different pieces that kind of probably broke off in the cold frigid waters, are at least somewhat legible with the information they contain, and I'll share those with you guys. You find this one here. You guys find this one here. And you find this one here. These are the only ones that have any real value that are legible.
Nightgarm. Anybody know what Nightgarm is?
Yeah, that's what you wear before you go to bed.
That's not correct.
The Witchlight specimens have provided us innumerable breakthroughs for Project Offspring. We are on the cusp of ensuring the scions of the project are properly protected to ensure further and
Uh-oh.
the patrollers will see the... I can't read this.
Uh-oh.
Strength of our tenacity. When the time comes.
Yeah, it cuts off there.
This last one, I psychically project to everyone. It's got Our Lady Ruth from the jail, and it also mentions Malik.
What's wrong? What does it say about Malik?
Security Chiefs Malik and Ruth, I say psychically to everyone.
Uh-oh.
Well,
He banged his head, lost his memory. Or he was sent here as a vanguard, as a spy or something, and subsequently lost his memory somehow. Point is, he doesn't remember.
yeah, well, maybe he can come with us and he can start over, right?
Yeah, not a word of what we found.
Okay,
To Malik.
got it.
A
First we
replaced.
talked.
Or we could, maybe give him some really nice bracelets and put him in the bottom of the ship and hand him to the boss.
Oh.
Ill says no, but shakes his head yes. Like, no!
Well, I do wonder if we have a way of incapacitating him all at once. If anybody has ideas, it's not something that I can do, but if we need to, I'd like to know who can help.
I could fucking mind blast him.
Well,
Y'all seen me mind blast stuff before? It's a trip.
Just the rat-tat-tats.
No, I mean like use my brain powers to knock him out.
but he's not even hostile towards us. What if he ends up helping us? He hates wolves. You saw what happened when he was around wolves.
There is something going on here, and that's why I'm gonna give him enough rope to hang himself with. But hopefully he doesn't make a noose with this rope. Hopefully he leads us to somewhere safe. Is the weird metaphor that I'm going for here.
Okay.
Be awful, awful, awful if we teased those poor dragons without a meal.
No.
No, jeez, Shinji, you've been hanging out with me too much. Oh my god.
That's right.
Anyway, jeez, kid. Jeez.
Oh, did you want to eat them?
Well, I had considered it if push come to shove, but
So
let's not talk about that.
the strain, it says completed. This nightgram report thing. There was a giant cage. This is talking about applied to specimen 43 under the title of Nightgarm. The entity beasts a regenerative factor unseen to our species. Okay, so what if this thing is out here? If it was in that cage?
Oh boy.
Well, shit. Shit.
Shit! Look to the camera. All right.
Oh shit, here we go again.
And we just noticed these big paw prints that are leading directly away from us. Yeah, well, we found everything we need right here, so why don't we talk about everything that could go wrong on travels back to the barn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Thunder. I don't really feel like making more trouble than we need, and this planet has plenty of it without those dragons.
It's true.
Who wants to hold on to the notes?
I suppose that, I could do that, I guess.
Great, don't die. Hey, Malik!
Hey, you guys have been quiet over there. It's pretty weird. Did you find anything good?
I almost said we're using my brain to talk, and we're just thinking real deep.
Weird.
Number 43 mean anything to you?
Subject 43?
I just said the number 43.
Oh, 43.
I wasn't gonna tip my hand that much.
He scratches his scruffy beard.
Does Malik look like a scruffer? Like a humanoid scruffer?
Hard to
Like
tell
what?
because he, when you first met him, is just covered in a number of like bandages and things that cover his face. He scratches his scruffy beard and says, "Yeah, sounds a bit familiar. Yeah. What about it?"
How does it make you feel?
I don't know. Look, you guys are looking for information, right? Well, I told you. I lost my memory, so I'm trying to find pieces too. So what'd you find? Is there anything useful? 43, there's something weird about it, yes. But what about it? Anything else?
What do you guys think? Should we keep him in the dark or spill the beans to him?
Well, what if we spill part of the beans to him?
Like what?
Like what the monster is, but not how it became to be.
Okay. All right. And if it jogs his memory, it jogs his memory. Nothing we can do about that. Just see what happens.
I feel like if we start to see any change, then we need to make sure that we incur that change now. By that I mean to say, if he does start recognizing something, we need to keep going with it because we need to expose an enemy before we travel with one.
One suggestion.
Yeah.
Let's go talk on the safety of dryish land so we don't fall in it again.
It did mention scions. What if he's a scion?
An idea that I may... Oh, wait, scion. What's scion?
Scion, can they do brain things?
He's a security chief.
Oh, maybe. Okay, yeah. Sorry, mix of note.
I'm gonna high-low at the amount that I agree with you about this elf. I don't know that I want to travel with him if he's a bad guy. Yeah, okay, you make a compelling argument here.
Yeah, I know you do. Back to land where it's safer. We'll talk there. I need to warm up around a fire.
Yeah.
He nods.
Fair enough.
Malik nods his head. Yeah. Sounds like the little one saw some things down there too.
Oh, there are two big serpenty crocodile dragon. They were really pretty, really cute. And I guess I can appreciate them from afar, but man, being in that water with them. Hey, that pitten really saved me. I didn't even know there were two. Yeah, I'm very lucky.
Lost the pitten?
Yeah,
I can never get that back. Oh man, let's go.
What was it a special fish?
No, but it was fine.
Shut up. Oh,
You hear Bolt whistle from far away. Hey, get the fuck off! on.
Oh, yeah.
You're still arguing next to the open crack in the
I'm gonna pull out a piece of platinum, and I want to be like, I'm gonna be like, high five, Ill. Huh?
I'll take that. Thank you. Okay, we start walking back to shore. Jason.
You guys slowly walk across the crunching ice back towards your little sticking out of the ground barn-sized detached boat where the mounts are.
Your barn ship.
You guys are all walking along and you're only a few minutes away from it.
And we get there safely, right? Nothing happened.
Moving through the snow now that it has picked back up, moving off of the ice. You hear a shout coming from behind you.
A shout. Yes.
Almost a yelp. Ha! And you look back to see an arrow has latched itself into Malik's arm.
No! Malik!
A figure covered in furs launches from the nearby snow and pounces on top of Malik.
No!
A set of furry claws from out underneath its long robes and furs grips Malik's neck, and you hear it say, "He's the enemy! Let me do this!"
No!
Oh shit. Go ahead.
Who is it exactly that is you that it attacks us and expects us to trust you?
Whoever this is, although they yelled this out, is not paying attention to you. You just hear Malik gurgling in between the crushing of this figure's palms.
I do it. I'm sorry, Captain Bolt. I do it. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna firebolt the fuzzy thing.
Oh boy, yeah.
She's right. It's right on top of Malik, so just keep in mind that will hit Malik too.
Oh, it's a firebolt, not a fire.
Oh, a firebolt. Gotcha. I'm sorry. I thought it was fireball. I misheard. Sorry.
Not the same thing.
I misheard. Yeah. 19 to hit.
Yeah.
You shoot out a bolt of fiery red energy that hits against this humanoid, singeing some of the furs. A bit of lit flame kind of licks up around the area. It reels back, and you hear it almost growl. But it continues. You can't see its face or any of its features because it's shrouded underneath all of this. It just continues to keep its hands gripped on the neck of Malik.
What? Ironhide! Get him!
Malik is just underneath, moving around, trying to grab at his knife, but the creature throws one of its hands to cover his palm, and Malik throws himself on top of the humanoid, and they're just like wrestling in the snow.
Ironhide!
Can I sumo belly flop on top of the pile and stop them both? I'm like 500 pounds.
Sure. You can come over and make me like a. What was that, Kyle?
500.
Give me like an athletics check to just sort of like throw your weight on top of the both of them.
Break it up. I am going to drop my advantage card for it.
Nice. Look at this advanced card.
Billy saw abs.
All right. What'd you say? Athletics?
Yes, please.
Nice.
Squash.
19.
You, as they're tussling through the snow, Malak trying to drive his dagger down into the center chest of whoever this is, quickly being parried with a hairy palm out of the way into the snow. You just throw your weight on both of them, kind of crushing the chest of Malak and the legs of the legs and good portion of the waist of whatever this other figure is. Kind of like Malak is on his back, so he's kind of trapped underneath you, and he just yells. He's kind of choking and kind of just digging his dagger into the snow. The other figure falls flat on their stomach into the snow and is just gripping at the snow, and you can hear it saying, "Get off me! Get off me!"
You're not bigger than me. You're staying put. Calm down.
I wanna say psychically into the mind of the furry creature. Is that Ruth?
The humanoid in the fur shifts and looks your way for just a second, Ill, and you notice underneath the darkness of the hood is the snout and jowl of what looks to be a lycanthrope-like form. It looks at you for just a couple seconds and says, in your mind, "Yes, now get this thing off of me."
Okay, but we're gonna need an explanation. Let's all get on dry land before the big hippo there cracks you down into a watery grave. And let's behave ourselves, right? And he'll like cock his gun as he psychically says that.
Like how we're all just standing here in silence, and then all of a sudden it'll just.
Okay, could I make like like an intimidate or something?
Yeah, I think that'd be appropriate.
I'm trained in that. You know what? I'm gonna spend my inspiration on this.
Ooh. I was gonna say, if there's any way I could assist the intimidate by maybe,
being you.
But I'm some extra pain or pressure there.
I'm gonna roll with advantage.
All right.
Well, nice.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Malak is like kind of fighting, but he's more just like trying to pull himself out from under you, Ironhide, and he kind of continues to just cough and kind of grips at his neck, kind of breathing heavily. As you pull up a little bit of weight, Malak kind of pulls himself out from underneath you and kind of kicks away from you. You watch Ill and the rest of you guys as thrown on their chest, Ruth grips at the snow with her claws and just grips it tight as if in anger, and then kind of quickly pulls herself free from you, Ironhide, and almost does like a backflip to step back a bit. You now all see, like Ill does, that underneath is no longer the younger woman with long silvery hair, but instead a silvery-haired lycanthrope.
We found... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, what's your problem, lady?
None of you know, but I do.
Know what?
You don't understand. I deserve this. Who are you people? She says. Why are you in cohorts with him? She says, pointing a finger over at Malak.
Oh, I guess we were gonna talk about this up dry land, weren't we? Walk and talk.
Yeah, can like maybe Ironhide just kind of like hold her.
She's already gotten out from underneath. They're both.
Oh,
They both got out from underneath me. I would have tried to grapple them both, but they got free.
Dang. Gosh, I don't know what else we can do here. Can anybody else talk him down, maybe?
I will.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Hey, look out.
why are we in cahoots with him? Well, weren't you guys like a thing together?
She looks at you for just a second with a bit of acknowledgement. Thank you, Mr. Waken. I appreciate that raid. That's nice of you. And she says, how did you know that? She then looks to him and back to you and says, if you know who we are, then you know who he is.
Oh, why don't you just jog my memory then? Do you know who he is?
Coughing, Malik says, who am I?
Wait, well, do we want him to...
Yeah, I mean, originally no, want him to know,
Okay.
but it happens, you know.
Well, they look like they want each other dead, so let's find out what happened.
We are at an impasse in our relationship with this man. That is what we are trying to determine what we are doing. We are trying to make that determination in a safer place, however. If you don't mind not putting us all in danger, we'd all like to get back to somewhere nice and cozy. You can do your killing in the warmth.
She looks over, seeing that you guys are not too far off from the boat that houses your mounts. And she says, fine with me.
Well,
All
then,
right.
shall we?
Let's keep them well apart and start heading towards shore. Malik at one end, Ruth at the other. Let's keep walking.
Malik
Alright.
yells at you, Ironhide. Keep that crazy one away from me.
Oh, now we're friends. Stay by me, buddy.
Hey, now,
We have an agreement.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's it. We have an agreement. We're friends now.
Yeah, I haven't decided which of you two is going to be my traveling companion, so until then, neither of you will call each other names like crazy. Is that understood?
They both look at each other and look back at you in silence.
How did Ruth get out of her cage anyway?
Let's walk and talk.
Yeah, walking and I'm assuming we're walking and talking.
It's not long before you guys reach the area that houses your mounts inside. They're still safely tied to their posts. One of them has actually fallen asleep. The other one is just corralling around, pushing its snout into the dirt, probably trying to root up anything else it can eat. You guys keep the two separated and are able to push inside of the little makeshift pin area here.
What did Eve, or not Eve, what was her name?
Ruth?
Ruth. What did Ruth say about getting out? Like if asked.
She looks to you and says, the jailers, they tried to take me from my cell a bit prematurely, as I knew they would.
He did say that.
They did say that.
She
And then-
looks to you all and says, if it means you'll give me a chance to exact my vengeance, I will tell you my story.
I wouldn't have called it vengeance if you want us on your side, but go ahead.
You will understand once I tell you, she says.
All the same.
She looks to you all and says, I'm just going to assume you all are more knowledgeable than you make yourselves out to be. I was a chief security officer, along with this one over here, on a Vodani ship, the Clapperclaw. It was a research vessel, primarily.
Right.
We were headed towards Chillimere to speak with the townspeople about info regarding the breaking down of a mineral called Reverserite for the scroll of the Trine.
Huh. We haven't heard of that mineral though. They have the adamantine stuff, right? But not.
Yeah, you guys.
Heard of the Reverserite or whatever.
You haven't heard of that name in the town anywhere, no.
Could I take a history check?
Sure.
Flexing thing.
Twice my proficiency for history checks related to magic items, alchemical objects, or technological devices. Would you allow that?
If it applies, yes.
Doesn't. That's what he's asking.
Technology-wise is what you're saying?
Magic items, alchemical objects, or technological devices. I get double my proficiency.
I'll say yes in this instance because of the situation.
Alright, cool.
Nice.
Alright. Rolling? Is it rolling?
Roll 20. Hello?
Bueller.
14.
You feel like you've heard the name before, Thunder. And that whatever this Reverserite is, it has some type of magical properties akin to some spells or a particular spell that wizards have been known to cast before, but don't remember exactly what the spell is or any more details regarding it. I do remember it is some type of mineral, though.
Wizard rocks? I don't understand. You new generation and your wizard rocks.
Ruth,
Okay then. So this Reverserite, they have it down here then?
I wasn't privy to that information. It seemed as though our people, the higher-ups, wanted information regarding it for the scroll.
And that's why you crashed here.
No, she says.
Well, I'm very confused. You're missing some parts on this story, and I'm getting very antsy to find out the answers.
Before the treaty that was put in place, before the Trine agreed to no longer have any slaves, I, for years, was under enslavement by the scroll, taken from my home, experimented on.
What kind of experiments?
Things that did this to me, and she holds out a werewolf-like claw, sharp fingers.
Very sensitive to super science.
So you went unwillingly?
I was still enslaved when the treaty was passed. The right to serve, or so I heard. The Vodani agreed and asked if I would either leave or continue my work under them in some sort of sick joke or piece of charity from them. And yet, to their surprise, I agreed. I decided that to get my revenge on them for experimenting on me, that I would willingly serve them, remembering their names and what they were doing on the Clapperclaw and counting down the days until I could enact my vengeance.
Ah, makes sense. Insight check. Fuck this lying bitch.
Yeah. I also want
15.
There is a grit to her voice, and you can tell from behind it comes both a mix of pain and anger. Sounds like she's being honest.
Ah, okay, she's being honest.
about 43. I look at Ill and I do 4, 3.
What's subject 43, huh?
Subject 43 is the thing that both me and Malik here were guarding. The thing we were supposed to keep safe, she says. She says it was an experiment for a Project Offspring.
Right.
Do we know what Project Offspring is?
It's the thing that was on the
notes.
Oh,
You know,
so
macaroni and cheese.
We don't know much, but
Yeah. vaguely.
Marauders. They were dealing with Witchlight Marauders.
Yeah. Some sort of rebirthing process if the obvious clue is to be followed.
Yes, she says. This Subject 43, under the title of Nightgarm, they used it as a organic healing process for those under the Vodani and potentially others who had perished, so that they could be brought back to life again.
Do you know if they happen to work with the genius on Neogokyo?
No, I don't.
How about the name? What was it? Nightgarm? Garm.
ARG.
Names don't mean nothing, especially when scientists, those fucking nerds, give it to them. What is it exactly that means?
I don't know exactly the eccentricities of the title, but I
Sure.
do know from what they told me as a security officer that it was a dangerous creature. It was large, a lycanthrope covered in deep red fur.
Oh no.
It consumed the dead and brought them back to life.
Oh no. That's starting to sound an awful lot like the stuff we ran into in the forest, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Shit.
And of course, every scientist, no scientist makes a vehicle that goes faster than they can stop it, right? So how did you build in a stop to this thing? The
Me
subject
and-
3. You have a kill switch in it, I suppose?
Not that I know of. We were the stop device,
Oh, well, that worked.
but I continued working under all of them, you see, after years of their torture. Malik, although he doesn't seem to remember any of this, I can see the cold, unknowing stare in his eyes, she says, looking over at him. But he was there as I was experimented on. He stood by and watched as it happened. Malik looks.
Yeah.
He's shaking his head and says, Red Wolf, I don't remember any of this. I don't remember any of this stuff. How can you blame me if I don't remember, if any of this is even true?
He's got a point.
Red
Well,
Wolf, that sounds like the demon wolf.
You said the demon. Well, there was the demon. There is a demon. What's the crimson? I want to draw like in the snow, like the crimson or the moon shaped graffiti that we kept seeing.
They both look at it. Ruth looks up and just shakes her head back and forth. Don't know what that is.
Really? That's surprising.
We have two crazy things happening on this planet? That seems...
I have a feeling that the mage in town is the cause of the other, or is at least in cahoots with it.
Well, what's your plan against the patrollers? Huh?
My beef is not with the patrollers, although I do not necessarily trust them. My beef is simply with the Vodani, who took me from my home and did these things to me. I wanted to do it, exact my vengeance. I was a stopgap, as you mentioned, Halfling, she says. And I was the one who let the creature go.
Oh.
That's why it crashed.
Now listen, vengeance is a sword that cuts both ways, you understand. It hurts your enemy, sure, but it also hurts yourself. Maybe you turn that righteous indignation into change. Maybe you help people. Because you've set this 43 loose, and it is killing people that I'm sure you did not intend it to. Maybe you turn your righteous fury onto it.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm not trained in it, but I also have more to say that.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, and if you really want to put the hurt on Ani, you can come off-world with us and report back to our handlers. See, trying to put a stop to these Vodani types. And we could use an insider with information such as yourself.
Okay, because of that.
To help, Jack.
Bolt, make it at advantage.
Oh, nice. All right. Expertise. Yeah. 18.
The sneer on her face and her eyes locked on Malik, who is just sort of rubbing his hands on the sides of his head in a frazzled manner. She looks back to you all. The sneer slowly disappearing at the sound of you talking a little bit of sense, Bolt, and you mentioning a way off of the planet, Ill. I'm willing to help you make this right. I wanted to squeeze the life out of his throat, but perhaps we can get information from him. When I released the creature, the Nightgorn, it tore through his belly. He was mortally wounded. That can only mean one thing. That the creature used whatever abilities it had to bring him back to life, and he knows where it's at.
That, I feel like there are two leaps in logic there, but okay, we'll go with that.
Malik?
Why don't you remove those things off his face, she says, looking at all the bandages around him.
Oh, I've got a gentle disposition. I'd really rather not.
Yeah, okay, I'll do it.
Oh, God, okay, let me, hold on, just give me 1 second to... He wraps his own eyes up. All right,
Run away.
I say, all right, Pops. Not you, Pops, the Malik.
What?
Shut up. Sir. Shut up, sir. Sorry. I'll kind of try to unwrap the things from Malik.
Usually the defensive type from his journey with you guys, Malik, now almost hearing a revelation of information now allows you, almost wanting to know himself, lowering his hands as you unwrap the bandages.
Yeah, I'm not doing it threateningly. I'm just
covering his face and pockmarks across his face is huge tufts of gnarly fur.
Yeah, that'd do it. That would do it.
Malik looks up to you and grasps at his face. The demon Warfire. I remember there was that ship. It did crash here. I was able to claw my way out before it sunk too deep. But I remember the wound now. He pulls his shirt up, looking at his bare, scrawny chest. It is clean of any scars.
Ah.
He wraps his hands at it. I don't understand. How can this be?
Does he have a beating heart? Is he an undead? Technically?
He was cold, wasn't he?
Hey, give me your pulse. Let me see.
You just grab one of his hands that he has at, and as you press a thumb on his wrist, you feel the beat of a heart.
No way, he's alive. Guys, he's alive.
So there's no sign of a wound on his stomach?
Right. It's completely clean other than just dirt and refuse.
I was just gonna ask him, just give yourself a little prick with your knife. Like, it doesn't have to be a deep cut or nothing. I just want to see it.
He looks at you and then pricks himself very lightly with your knife, and he watches the blood, like on the top of his wrist, and just watches it trickle down and drop. Okay, he says.
Does it look like it's closing up at all? Like anything normal than just clotting, I guess?
It looks like it's clotting.
Okay, well, all right, there goes that theory. Never mind.
Yeah, well, he's not the regenerative one. The 43 is, and the 43 is who healed him, and the 43 is who's not here.
Could I maybe...
The 43 healing him thing. He should have some sort of wound on his stomach, right?
Ruth
Ruth
shakes her head.
I'm very confused by that specific.
Sure.
Arcana or medicine or what?
Any of these could potentially be beneficial. It depends on what you want to use.
As soon as I stop hitting the wrong fucking button 3 times. I might try and make an argument for survival. Is that something that would scar even with magical healing?
Sure. That's. I could go with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Expertise 16. My rolls are garbage.
By most healing magic that you know of, at least that you have experienced before, Bolt, would certainly heal even some of the mightiest wounds depending on the level of wizard and spellcaster. However, something as deep as a gash from what they're mentioning would have at least left some trace, even if slight, of a mark on his stomach.
Yeah, that's the weird thing, man.
You see, as you look up, that Ruth is just shaking her head. It's process of healing. It's not like you're used to.
You can see how that doesn't lead credence to your theory, though, right here, right now.
If he receives some type of mortal wound, as I said, then surely there would be some state of it still there. That just proves that he was consumed by the night guard. Which means he may also know where it still is, so we can slay it.
It's still tracking to me completely, but I'll have to take your word for it, I guess.
Could I mean, I don't know if I know anything about lycanthropes or werewolves. I mean, player knowledge, I know that they're potentially weak to silver and the such. Could I take an intelligence check to see if I know, if I've heard of that as a character?
Sure.
Just, what would you want? Just a base intelligence or history or?
History check.
Okay. $15?
You've not heard of this before.
Ooh, shit.
She looks to you, Ill, and says, I watched it happen as one of the officers. He may not remember, but I do. Promise me you'll take me off this rock when this is done, and I will tell you all the information you want to know.
I look to Bolt, like... Yeah...
Feel like that is an agreement to let her lie to us. And she'd be, and us be okay with it, but...
I mean, yeah, maybe.
My intention was to get revenge on the Vodani. I never intended for the civilian casualties to occur.
I am going to need to draw on information that I as a player don't have. What is the relationship with the controllers and the Vodani?
The Vodani are part of the Dark Trine, along with the Neogi and the Skro. And so far, the ones in the Twixt are all signed under the treaty. Therefore, there is a tense yet peaceful relationship between them all.
In the past, I mean, like, were they like diametrically opposed, or
in the past they were slavers who would want to take power and take over worlds, as well as bring in innocents into the fold by experimenting on them, largely turning them into this lycanthropic form. So there was a tenseness between all of these 3 different races because they were all at once slave owners. But now, promising peace between the 2 of them, they have perhaps begrudgingly both agreed to no longer have slaves, at least those who don't want to serve, and move forward. Though the patrollers do not know a whole lot of what they're up to besides that.
Sure.
They're kind of just like, as long as you guys aren't causing chaos and, trafficking a bunch of slaves everywhere, we'll continue this treaty. There doesn't need to be war between us.
Gotcha. And I forgot my second question. It was, does Malik, he looks like a typical Vodani?
He looked like a humanoid, although the tufts of fur on his face in sporadic places are beginning to lead you otherwise.
And they don't, I imagine that they don't operate on, like, officers and rank and staff. They only reserve that for, like, their abducted folk, the Vodani?
No. From you wouldn't even need to make a check. It'll probably be common knowledge. There's like a hierarchy system within their ranks.
Right. And they don't experiment on the higher ranks, or is that something like the higher you get, the more tiger claws you get grafted onto you or something?
Under the treaty, it is only voluntary those who wish to be experimented on. And it is usually those of any rank who are willing to undergo any of the processes that they agree to.
Fuck.
So there's no forced experimentation. At least that you guys know of.
I will tell her that either of your innocence seems proven at this point, and since I can't condemn either of you, I must trust both of you. So for now, we're all traveling companions, and whatever bitterness you have between him and who he used to be has to be checked at the door if you're going to travel with us.
Well said.
Sort of being played.
Yeah, probably.
She looks to you and says, I was there, close with this night-gone creature. I watched as they brought in the dead bodies. I watched as the creature consumed the corpse. Head to toe. All in one gulp. I watched as the creature grew pregnant. And I watched it give birth to the same corpse that was fed into it. Now alive. Though many showing blemishes, marks of a lycanthropic nature. Some patches of fur on their face or hand, she says, looking over at Malik. Or perhaps an inability to write correctly, as if from some form of leftover dyslexia. There was a quirkiness to the process. But it seems as though if Malik was consumed, then he did come back in one piece. I don't know if it's the same body or a duplicate. I don't understand any of that. I just know that that was its methods. When I let it free, it rained hell on the ship. I also know, and part of the reason we were tasked to guard it, is that the scientists were beginning to figure out that those consumed, besides these quirks, tended to have a strange relationship with the Night-Gone. They still had their memories intact and carried on as usual for the next couple days, but any inference or reference to the Night-Gone, they regarded it highly, almost as if in a motherly relationship.
Well,
So, Jason, subject 43 in the Night-Gone or this?
She's implying with the same thing.
Yeah, all right, just making sure. Well, Malik, you got ate by this thing, big red demon wolf. Can you feel where it is?
Malik scratches at his head, and he looks to you, Bolt and Ill, and says, I'll I'll try. But you can't let her hurt me if I tell you this information. It doesn't matter what she says. I don't remember any of this in the past. You can't blame me for things I don't remember doing.
Bolt looks at her and says, I promise, as long as we are all traveling together, she will not harm you.
Right, Ruth? We need this if we're going to put a stop to it.
She looks to you, Il, and says, someone who has been torturing you for years and comes back with a chance for you to exact your revenge? At the end of the day, once all is said and done, would you let them go?
Bolt speaks up and says, I'll not condemn a man for crimes that you levy on him, just like I'll not condemn you for the lives that you have cost by setting this thing free.
Good point.
Make a persuasion check or intimidate check.
I'll persuade with advantage.
I'd say I can give you advantage if it's intimidate.
Persuasion.
Yes, Ironhide. He still has an arrow in his arm and his shoulder.
Oh,
Oh no!
Can we help him out?
Jesus. It's another 9, but totals to 18.
Nice. She.
Can I
You head over Emma. You try to remove the arrow from his shoulder. He just keeps his head low and clenches his teeth as you begin to pull it out and give him some healing. You hear softly under his breath, "Thank you, little one."
Yeah. Welcome.
She looks at you, Bolt. And there's a long pause before she says, Malik tells us where this thing is. I will help you all put it down. And then I would hope that you would see to it that I would like to leave this one, she says, pointing at Malik, and all of this behind, and to travel with you off of this place.
We'll learn a lot once we meet up with this Subject 43. I hope it informs us of something one way or the other. But yes, if everything turns out, I don't see any reason why we can't take you off planet.
She almost looks past you a bit listlessly and says, yes, I could change my name. I could start anew.
I don't want to break anything up here, but we still need supplies for our ship, and there's a town of really sketchy people, and we're also missing part of our crew, so there's a few things that we all have to work together on before we can even think about getting off the planet.
She looks to you and says, missing members, what do you mean?
Meat and Potatoes has gone missing.
yes, apparently oh, sorry, go ahead. I've talked enough.
But
Oh, somebody, it sounded like somebody else was talking while I was talking. No? Oh, okay. Apparently a couple of our crewmates got shanghaied by these dudes wearing furs that came by, said they were there to heal them. Oh, no! Oh, no!
Her eyes widen a bit as she stares at you, almost acknowledging as you acknowledge.
That was in character and out of character at the same time. Oh, shit.
All the more important then that we find out where this thing is now so we can put it down, she says, looking over at Malik. Malik is running his hands through his hair, pulling down his hood, and he thinks, I remember the chest wound. I remember there being dark blood, like black, as it painted the snow below me. I thought I was going to die. And then figures, people, seemed like townspeople found me. I remember now. But they didn't talk to me. They didn't act as though they were trying to help me. They threw me on some type of thing that they had. way to pick me up, to carry me. I don't even remember what it was. I could barely open my eyes. They said nothing. They simply took me. Where? He slaps his head with his closed fist. I remember an echo. Dark, icy walls. I remember caves of some type. Caves, he says. They brought me to some caves.
I'm looking at the map here.
Do we know of any caves in the area?
There's an adamant mines in the bottom left of the town map.
The freeze-dried forest.
Yeah, which is where we were gonna head next anyway.
Frostbite forest.
I remember
Dead frost forest.
something about the demon wolf is what I thought about it. I remember getting away from the two figures. I remember trying to write something for someone, trying to escape when they had made some type of camp not too far outside of the town walls.
We have that letter.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Was it in a forest? Do you remember trees?
Yes. They said, he points the finger up, they said they were going to heal me. They took me to the caves of the mines, he says, pointing at you, Ironhide. But there, he says, oh no. That thing. The Nightgarm. It did this to me, he says, looking down, grabbing at some of the patches on his face. I'm something I shouldn't be. I feel some strange connection. Like the passing faces in town, like they know me somehow. But I don't know them. That's why I was distrusting of them. But I don't feel the influence of this Nightgarm. Only now do I remember its presence. Somewhere in those mines, likely. If you're missing your friend, that may be where we need to check next.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Bolt's already pulling saddles and stuff and packing blankets. Yeah, what are you guys waiting for? I'm too short to reach up onto that chrono.
I'm drying my clothing so I don't catch hypothermia.
Oh, sure. You take your time.
Okay.
Just need a
But also hurry up.
Ruth gets up, and they both look, her and Malik, at each other for a long stare, and then turn to you all. Ruth says, how long has your friend been missing?
Oh no.
Hours, right?
over 10 hours.
12 hours? What was Great guess?
I was saying, I mean, would it be 1 day by now?
It's been a little over 12 hours.
Okay, that's right, because we didn't take a long rest. We took a short one.
You guys took a long rest in town before heading north, but along with that and the trek up here, actually I take that back. Yeah, it's been about a day, because it took about 10 hours to get all the way up here.
Oh, that's right, the trip up, I forgot about that, yeah.
Sure. Alright, well, it's
She looks to you, yeah, and says it'll take another 10 or so hours back.
Oh, we decided to go as the crow flies. I don't know if that'll work out for us. We don't feel the need to go crossing back through the town right now.
She looks down at her claws and says, "This is why I couldn't say anything.
Oh?
I was afraid if they saw me in my form, this form, that grows progressively longer each time I see the moon, that they would burn me at the stake. No more history."
We would. Yeah.
She looks now, peering out at the blood-red moon, and says, "It likely may be permanent this time. So it's better off that I don't go into the city limits anyway."
Excellent.
I undo my scarf and put your The old tentacle said, "Say you're in good company, Toots."
She stares at you for almost a surprised second and says, "Very well. I will travel with you, and we will go and put this creature down. Then I will begin my life anew," she says. And she removes her hood, showing you that she has donned a little bit of leather armor and has a crossbow on her back. Pulling back, you now actually see that although she has tufts of silverish hair at the front, she still does seem to have at the back head behind her ears her flowing silverish hair that kind of coils in her hood that's been thrown back. And you now see the image of Ruth.
Roof!
Oh my god, are we fucking retarded?
Literally.
We're so dumb.
Who is Ruth from the main campaign.
Are we doing brainworms? We hired her not once but twice, I think.
She was my ally twice, and then she showed up again because, if I'm correct, she was the one that was in the pit fight on.
Oh my god.
This will be interesting. This will be interesting for Luke. Interesting for Luke to think about, because she was in the pit fight on the team of Aesop and Rinkaz, who also had Ill with them.
Ill was. Oh my god! It's all coming together. The kindred spirits. Holy shit!
When did she first appear?
It's a good thing our characters are all dumb.
She first appeared when you guys hired her from the Helper's Hand on a patroller ship.
Awesome.
Could I take a history check to see if I remember her from a holovid?
None of that has happened yet. Is the thing.
It was right after that. That's right, because
this is the prequel.
That's right. The vids weren't. We hadn't been there yet. The only time we were on any of the patroller ship was the Halloween Dead Space running from the Alien episode.
All the Helper's Hand stuff was in season 2. So this is in between 1 and 2. This is the earliest timeline. This is the origin story of Ruth/Ruth.
I just want to go to bed now. I feel so stupid.
I'm gonna sleep face down.
I kept thinking her name was something else. Now that I see her, I'm like. No, but I remember I was saying that too. What's your name? Roof. No, what's your name? Roof.
Yeah. So I think this is a great place to end the session.
Yeah.
Did you guys have fun?
Yes.
Good.
Time to ruin the timeline.
There's a Metal Gear Solid reference. We had Solid Weasel. Now we have Lapis. Like from Solid 4. Fucking.
Sniper Wolf.
It all works. Holy shit.
Yeah. That was some great checks to calm them down, because she certainly wanted to kill Malik. So that was good. Also, what was I gonna say? It's so late now. My brain is turning into mush. I hit the I'm done DMing, and now my brain's like, time to die. Goodbye. I don't remember what I was gonna say. So yes, we'll end the session here. I'm glad you guys had fun. Oh yeah. That was great. The whole thing with Vay going down in the water to go check out the ship. That was really cool. That essentially skipped an entire map and an entire battle. So that was pretty awesome.
Welcome. I could have died.
What were we gonna do without a druid, though? How could we have even got down there?
There was another way to get more information, but I'll leave that for maybe like a post-game Q&A. Maybe when the season's done.
All right.
So yes, you guys at least have enough information, and luckily you guys were able to calm down the two of them, because Ruth was pretty much just going to strangle Malik. So that was good. I appreciate all you guys hanging out. It's always fun to get through the week and play some D&D. Thank you so much, Kevino, for subscribing. I appreciate that. Thank you for stopping in, Anna, and buying me a +1, which I actually didn't even really necessarily get to use this session. because this was a lot of role play, which I always love. But I'll keep hold of that. Thank you, Botfriend, for following. He was the person who won the Steam gift card over on Twitter. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I asked him to come check us out, and he did, so that's very nice of you. And thank you, The Mist Awakens, for both the raid as well as following. That was really nice of you. Thank you so much. All of you guys, if any of you are still here or are watching the VOD or YouTube clip of this, you are building up your Twitch channel points. So go down to the bottom left of the Twitch chat and see all the fun stuff that you can use those for, even if you're just hanging out and lurking. Like I said, you're building up the points that you can use to buy stuff. So we did that some in this session, and I did some stuff with it. So you guys can do the same. It definitely comes in handy and a lot of times for the party. So a lot of fun, a cool way to interact and be a part of the stream. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you missed any of this session, want to learn more, it's all on the VODs down at the bottom here of our Twitch or over on YouTube at GWD_mode. That's all of my social handles, the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can go over to my Twitter and stay up to date because I do stream outside of this, usually like RPG games and stuff like that. We do this every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, but like I said, we're like in midst of holiday season, so I know some of us are probably going to be missing some sessions here, but we'll play it by ear. You know, obviously the Christmas weekend and New Year's weekend, we'll have to see what everyone is doing. So I think Christmas this year falls on what, like an actual Friday or something like that?
New Year's and Christmas is on Friday.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
We'll have to see about that. We'll see. We'll see what everyone's schedules are. I'm probably going to be out Christmas too, so we'll probably take a week off.
I'm in fucking lockdown, baby. Nothing matters.
Oh
Nothing
yeah,
means-
that's right. You get charged now if you're just heading outside, don't you?
Something like that. You can still go to the park and shit, but that's
The cops just like shrug. They're like, "No, we're not going to do this stupid shit." But yeah, thank you so much. What were you going to say?
Nothing constructive.
Okay, sorry. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it for sticking around with us and following us and just joining us on this journey. I'm excited. I'm excited to maybe reveal some information about some stuff that comes after this campaign that the players all know about. But time will tell that. We're still going to have fun with this one for a little while longer. Longer than my 12-session plan, but I think we can wrap up in another couple sessions as long as you guys are enjoying it, right? Everyone's having fun?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, I think this will carry us through December and maybe like mid-January probably, and then close. It's a rough estimation, but anyways, just an idea. So I thank everyone for the journey. We're headed out for the night. Be safe. Be careful out there. Don't get COVID. Goodbye, everybody.